In this video, we're going to show you how to create an online e-commerce store step-by-step with no steps skipped. My name is Tyler and I'm here with Emmanuel. He's a web developer from Florida. Why are we making this website in WordPress and what can it do?
Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, so WordPress is the most popular way to make a website online. One thing you should know is that it'll be super easy. You don't need to know coding or anything like that. If you have basic computer skills, you'll be able to follow along and make the website.
So yeah, we can add so many things. We're going to add a shopping cart, a way to take payments. We're going to add all of your products. We're going to show you how to put in a logo. We're going to show you how to design your website so that it could look like anything in the entire world. We're going to show you how to do reporting and keep track of all your sales and do shipping. But why should even people be using WordPress? Who uses WordPress and how popular is it?
Right. So WordPress is actually really safe and really trusted. Big companies like Best Buy, CNN, the New York Times, they all use WordPress. And even though big companies use it, that doesn't mean it's complicated. If you follow along, it'll be super easy. And we're going to show you every step that you have to take. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a fully functioning website with your products that you can sell online. And they can be physical products, they can be downloadable products, or even a virtual service that you want to provide.
Right, and you can make this on a Mac or PC. We wouldn't really recommend trying to make it on your phone. You can view the website on your phone. It's completely mobile friendly and responsive and all of that. But why shouldn't people try to make it on their phone or tablet?
So, your computer browser has a lot of built-in features. All the software we're going to be using is online. And a lot of the times the mobile browsers are missing some of the features that let you edit websites live. So definitely do it on a computer if you can.
Right. So is there anything else that people should know before we get started, before we start creating this website?
The only thing you should know is that it's okay to make a mistake. You can always go back and rewatch the video. We're going to try to make it as clear as possible. Me and Tyler are available. If you have any question, you can email me. I create your site at gmail.com or go to my website and leave me a message, and we'll be more than happy to answer any question you have about this video.
So I'm going to share my screen with Emmanuel, and we are going to go over what we're going to learn. So can you see me? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, looks good.
All right, so we're going to do all of this. We're basically done with the intro, so I'm going to mark that off. The next thing that we're going to do is get our domain name and hosting, and this is the only part that costs money. What is a domain name and hosting?
So the domain is just the name of your website. So for example, Google's domain is google.com, Best Buy's is bestbuy.com. So domains can be a .com, a .net, anything like that. I'm sure you've seen a ton of them. So we need to have a domain for our website that shows where our website is located and how people can find it. And hosting is pretty much just the storage for our website. So all of the pictures and text and videos and things like that we want to upload to the website, they have to be somewhere where people can always look at them. So hosting is just a really big computer somewhere else that is always online and connected to the internet so that when someone goes to your domain, they can see everything that you've built on your website.
Right, so domain name is basically your website name, like tyler.com is mine, google.com, icreateyoursite.com is yours, and hosting is where all the files live, right? So if you didn't have hosting, your website would come up blank. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to install WordPress and log in and learn how to change your password. But the really fun part is we're going to start adding your products and adding the shipping methods and the payment gateways and getting security so that you can actually accept payments online and manage orders and do all your reporting and things like that. But what website are we going to make? Even though you can make any design, anything, what type of website are we going to make? So we have the website right here and we can see it. Even though you can change the design to anything that you want, we're going to be making this specific website right here. And why is this website so great and why should people care to do this?
So this is a fully functioning website that anybody can build without any prior knowledge. So you can see that it looks like a completely professionally done website. You have your featured products, you have testimonials, contact forms, social media links, everything you want. And now if you don't particularly like this design, you can change everything about it. You can completely redo the design, and we're going to show you step by step how we made this one. And you can apply those same steps to build any kind of website that you want to build.
So right here, we can add the product to the cart and we can see it up here. And then we can view our cart. And your customer will be able to apply coupons. And we're going to show you how to do that and add shipping. And we're going to proceed to checkout. And they can enter in all of their information here and their credit card number right on the website. It doesn't take you to a third-party PayPal, even though we'll show you how to do that. And they can place order. You'll get an email, and that order will come up, and then you can ship the product or have them download the digital thing that you're offering. And it's just a really great, concise, simple tutorial on how to do all of this. And I think it's going to be really awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
We're going to do all of that. The first thing that we need to do is get your domain name and hosting, and we can do that at hostgator.com. So we just open up this right here and go to HostGator, HostGator.com, and press enter. The next step is to choose what you want, and there's all of these different options, but we need the least expensive option because you can always upgrade later. And I really like HostGator. What has been your experience?
They're pretty good. I think they have like a 99% uptime guarantee, which means that most of the time your website is pretty much always going to be up. Some places they offer really crappy hosting. And then what happens is that every once in a while, you'll try to go to your website and it won't be available because they're having some kind of issue with their server.
Right. Or it'll be super slow. I've been with them since I was 19, so 13 years. And they've been really great. They offer live chat, which sometimes you got to wait a little while for, email support, phone support, all of that. Now we have all of these different options here, like web hosting, website builder, WordPress hosting, VPS, and dedicated. And you'd think that you'd use WordPress hosting, but you can just go to web hosting because WordPress hosting has all of these bells and whistles that I don't think you really need, and you can always upgrade later.
Yeah. And pretty much the most important part of what they try to sell you on WordPress hosting is that WordPress is already installed, and it's more expensive for the same thing you're going to be getting with web hosting. We're just going to install WordPress ourselves.
So just click on web hosting and just scroll down a little bit. Then we have 3 different plans, the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. I think, again, it's the same sort of thing. You don't need any of this stuff, and you can always upgrade later. The difference between the hatchling plan and the baby plan is the baby plan offers unlimited domain names. So you can have like your friend's website, your dad's website, your mom's website, a client's website, all on there. If you're planning to be a web developer, then go with the baby plan.
And also, for all of these plans, another thing that's good about HostGator is they add a free SSL for you. So your website is much safer. And as a matter of fact, because Google now takes that into one of the things for ranking, one of the signals for ranking, this will actually improve your website's rank because it's safe.
Exactly. Yeah. And the SSL will show this little security lock up here instead of saying not secure, which people would freak out about probably if they're on your website.
Especially if you're on a store trying to buy something and then that thing is red, it says not secure. You click on it and it says, your information is not secure. You're probably not going to put your credit card.
That's essential. You'll never get any sales probably if it says not secure and they're entering in their credit card.
Exactly.
So we're just going to click buy now for the hatchling plan. And then it's going to give you 2 options. I already own this domain or register a new domain. When would someone choose I already own this domain over register a new domain?
Right. So maybe you have a domain that you've had for a while. Maybe you only use it for email, like a domain that you got from GoDaddy or HostGator itself or another website. So if you already have a domain, that's when you would use that. So one question that we get a lot when somebody uses a different domain is that, hey, I did all the steps, I used my own domain, and now my website doesn't work. So if you are using your own domain, you need to log in to wherever company you're using for your domain. You need to figure out where the name servers are for that domain. And you can always call their support or chat their support of that business. And they'll tell you what the name servers are. And, HostGator will give you their own name servers and you can just update them. And the name server is just a little line of text that tells your name how to connect to your storage.
Right, exactly. So if you bought a domain name from GoDaddy a long time ago and you want to connect it now to HostGator, you're going to require one extra step. And that step is to tell GoDaddy that you are hosting with HostGator and to just plug in a line of text. So the first step would be to get HostGator. And then after you do that, the second step would be to connect your name server if you already own this domain. If you're registering a new domain, and you can live chat them and be like, hey, I bought it from GoDaddy and how do I connect this? And it's a super simple thing to do. So, but if you're registering a new domain name like we are today, how to create a website.com, then it's going to be super easy. to do. It's all going to be automatic. So we're just going to go with the .com. Then it's going to ask you about domain privacy protection and how. Well, first of all, it's going to say, do you want all of these other things? And they try to sort of encourage you to get all of these .online, .space, .tech, but it's not necessary in my opinion. People don't copy your business exactly and do the .net, so I don't think it's really necessary.
Yeah, most people are used to .com, so if they don't remember your name, they're just going to assume that it's .com. Very rarely do you see a company use different kind of ending to their domain, unless it's it's something that they're doing for marketing because it's like catchy the way it sounds or something like that. But for 99% of businesses or websites, .com is going to be the best way to go.
And people use like .space sometimes is cool, or .tech or .org if you're doing something, if it makes sense for your website, if it makes sense for the marketing.
Yeah, what I was going to say, one good example of that is Google's parent company, Alphabet. Their domain name is abc.xyz. So .xyz is a super weird domain ending, but because their company name is Alphabet, they have abc.xyz. It's kind of like, oh, that's the whole alphabet. So it's marketing, but .com works most of the time.
If you just think it's cool, then do it. And if you're going to love it, then just do it. But most of the time it's .com. How would you explain domain privacy protection?
Yeah, so domain privacy protection is something that I also get a lot of messages about. It's not required and it's nothing bad if you don't have it. So when you make a domain, it's like starting a business or buying a house. You're buying your house on the internet. And just like a house, your domain has a public record, which shows where it's located, who owns it, and their contact information. So when you make a domain, your email and phone number and that kind of stuff is linked to it. And that's public information. It's public information for anybody, and it's nothing bad. No one's going to hack you or anything or go to your house because of that. But it is available. And a lot of businesses research recently open domains because they know that if you just opened a domain, you probably need a website. And these companies will start calling you to try to sell you online services. And a lot of the times, you have a ton of companies doing the same thing, and you might get 2 or 3 phone calls per day, and that might last 1 or 2 weeks. It's happened to me. When I see an unknown number, I usually just, if it's out of state especially, I know that it's most likely an ad. I just don't answer it. But if it's going to bother you a lot, then you can pay the extra, dollar for domain privacy, and then it won't show that information.
Yeah. And so I've gotten complaints on my channel saying, hey, HostGator sucks so much. Why are you recommending them? But because I've gotten 20 calls or something in the first week, but it's really not HostGator's fault. But if you add the domain privacy protection, it's going to be so people can't see any of that. But I'm just going to uncheck it because I want you to see how inexpensive it can be to get a website online and start accepting payments online. So I'm just going to uncheck it. But, if you definitely don't want any more spam calls, I know spam calls are so annoying and I already get like 1 million of them a day anyways. But the next thing is the plan. So do we want the Hatchling plan? Yeah, that's what we decided on. And then the billing cycle. How do you explain the billing cycle?
Yeah, so it's like anything that you buy. The more you buy up front, the cheaper it'll be, in total for what you're getting. So for example, if you do 12 months, it's 35% off, like it's showing right there. So it's up to you. If you're really invested and you want to really establish your business, you might want to buy a whole year so that gives you enough time to work on your website and try some marketing and try some different things. If you're just practicing and you're not sure, you can do 1 month just to practice.
Yeah, so it costs the least if you do 1 month up front, but more in the long run than if you do 12 months up front. And I'm going to show you how to get an even bigger discount than all of this. I have a special code that will give you like 74% off or like $3 a month for 1 year. We're just going to go with 1 month for now. And then you can enter in your username, security PIN, all of your billing information. Don't worry, this is not my real credit card. I get a lot of those emails too. So put it in California, and then it's going to say, do you want additional services? And what do you feel about these additional services?
The first one is SiteLock. I think that's probably like a plugin or a service that they add, but if you have an SSL, you really don't need more protection than that. So I think with an SSL, you don't really need SiteLock. Website backup, we can show you a plugin where you can set up and do your own backups. So that's not really required either.
Right. And with the SiteLock monitoring, if you keep your WordPress up to date, which we're going to show you in the video, then you shouldn't have any problems. When you get into problems is when your WordPress is like super out to date, and then there's like security flaws that are known. And then so people will try to hack those. But as long as you keep it up to date, you shouldn't need the site lock monitoring. So uncheck everything, and then it says it's going to be $23.90, which is awesome to have. This is the only thing that costs money also, and it's awesome to have your website online for that. But if you put in save code, SAVECODE, and press validate, then that's going to go down to $10.37. But that's just for the first month. So you only get that code for the first month, and then it's going to be $10 the next month about. This is my coupon code, so I do get credit. HostGator does give me a little bit of money every time someone puts this in. Helps me make these free tutorials. So appreciate that.
I have a friend of mine who he took a course. It was like 6 weeks or 8 weeks to learn web development. It cost him $12,000 to take the course.
Wow.
So he learned that so that he can make websites. But in this video, you'll see how you can make any kind of website. You can even use what you learn in this video to make a website that's not e-commerce. You can start selling, and it's a free tutorial that will teach you 90% of what you need to get a perfectly running website, and the other 10% is if you want something custom, but you probably won't need it.
Right. And if we go up here, we can also see that this has all turned to 60% off. There is a special code that HostGator, they contacted me and they said, we'll give your users 74% off or something crazy for 12 months. And that code is start code. So it would be $48.95 for an entire year. But if you type in start code, that goes to $36 for the entire year. So $3 a month, which is awesome for an entire year.
And if you think about it, most places that you go to buy a domain, just a domain alone is usually around $10 to $15 just for the domain. So the fact that you're getting your domain, you're getting an SSL, and you're getting hosting for a whole year for $36, that's a really good deal.
Yeah, I agree. And so you have 24/7, 365, live chat, email support, money back guarantee, domain registration in 12 months. We're just going to go with that one. It can cost you as little as $10, or you can do, that's only for 1 month, but you can do $36 for the entire year. Agree to the terms of service and click checkout now. All right, so we're done with that step, which is getting your domain name and hosting. So we're going to mark that off. The next thing that we're going to do is install WordPress. WordPress used to be super hard to install. You used to have to download it and then hook up an FTP and then transfer all the files and then make a MySQL database and put in all the credentials and just set it up correctly. But now it's just so easy. So
right.
Very
so
easy.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar with web design, that probably all sounded like Chinese, but now it's literally a button that you just click install, it installs itself. You plug in what username and password you want and you're done.
Yeah, super easy. So to do that, just go to hosting and scroll down and go to launch quick install. Then you're going to want to click on WordPress, and we can exit out of this billing right here. And then it's going to say select your domain name, and that's really easy. I have a whole bunch of domain names, but you probably only have one. So I'm just going to click my domain name. And we want to leave this directory blank. And why do we want to do that?
Right. So here you're saying, where on the storage that we talked about, the hosting, do you want to put WordPress? And you want WordPress to be right on your main website so that when people go there, they can see whatever you're making right there without having to go to any extra dash home or dash about, because we're going to use that for pages. Now, another question I get a lot is some people tell me, hey, I already have a website and I want to update my website without changing what's there right now until I'm done. So that is a good case in where you would use this. Instead of installing WordPress on your website, you might want to install it on /new, install it there, build everything you want to build, and then transfer it to your main website when you're done. But for a brand new website, like what you're probably doing right now, you want to leave it blank.
Right, exactly. So we'll just click on, and I want to show you this. Look how much they're charging to install all this stuff, $99 and $199 and $399. And trust me, we're going to do it in a much better way than they would do it for you.
Right. And if you scroll down and you look the cheapest option, which is $99, WordPress theme credit, install WordPress, that's pretty much what you're about to do by just clicking next.
Right. Yeah, you're literally about to do that right now.
Right. So you probably don't need an expert to do that. We're going to show you how to do all that stuff.
All right. So click next, and then blog title. I don't know. It says blog title, but they mean website title. WordPress did start out as a blog, but now it could be anything practically. Username, you can put in your name. I'll just put in Tyler, first name, last name, Tyler Moore. Email address, tylermoore@gmail.com. Try to get the email address right, because if you lose your password, you could just send it to your email and then I'll go there, but if you don't put in your real email, then it'd be really hard to get into your website. So click the terms of service and install now. All right, so what's happening right now?
Right, so WordPress is pretty much made of a bunch of different files that set up, your menu, what your website menu going to be, what your header is supposed to be, what are your pages supposed to be, how are you supposed to upload pictures, all that stuff that would normally take a really long time for somebody who knows coding to build that kind of structure. It's already done for you, so it'll be done in a visual way where you can just click around and and get it built. And that's what just got installed onto our website.
Right. It's a content management system, which is just a fancy way of saying it helps you manage all of your website content in an easy way without coding or anything. So now, if most people go to their website right now, will it work?
Most of the time, HostGator is pretty fast, so you might go to it and it might be working right away. But if you get an error page or your browser says we can't find this page, that's perfectly fine. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the host and domain to connect. Usually within 2 hours, it's up. If after a day it's still not up, you might want to contact HostGator via their chat, or you might want to contact your domain. If you got it from somewhere else, it might not be connected correctly.
Exactly. So it's called propagating. Your website needs to propagate, which means it needs to spread throughout the entire world, going from server to server, saying that your website exists. And sometimes that takes a long time. It used to take like 48 hours. It used to be really slow, but now sometimes it takes 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, or sometimes it's instant. So it just makes it a lot better. So if you go to your website right now and it doesn't work, don't freak out. It's fine. It'll work in half an hour, maybe 10 minutes. Just give it a little time. I've already bought this domain name, so mine's going to work perfectly. So I'm just going to go to the site just by copying it. I wouldn't recommend clicking on it because that'll take you away from this page.
Yeah, then you lose your password.
Yeah. And also a good idea is just to copy all of this information. As soon as you see it, copy the information, print it out, paste it somewhere, just so you have it. Yeah. So I would copy this, Command-C on a Mac, Control-C on a PC. Open up a new tab, paste it, and then see if your website works. If you get this website coming soon, then you are good to go. And then how do you log in? Well,
one thing that I want to say, your coming soon might not even look like this. It might look like a white page. It might look like a WordPress theme. As long as it doesn't say error and it shows you something, it means that it worked. Because this coming soon page, they updated, they changed it. So as long as you see something that's not an error, you probably did it right.
Right. And this is what an error would look like. Let me open up a new tab, type in just a whole bunch of things.com. This is what, I have Frontier Internet, so they try to do a search for me of this because they couldn't find the domain name. So that's what an error would look like.
So yeah, it would go to your search, or it would just say this page does not exist. One of those two.
But we're good to go. And so how do we log into WordPress?
So here they have an admin login, but that might not always be there. The only surefire way to log in, you want to write /WP for WordPress -admin.
So yeah, /WP WordPress -admin for administrator. And then we can click enter. And then it tells you to log in. I already put in a username and password, but that's not going to work because that's not the username and password anymore. We get our username and password from over here. So I'm just going to copy the password because it's really funky. And my username is Tyler. So I'm just going to type in Tyler, paste that password, and press login. Once we do that, we can exit out of here. Let's see what we need to do. So we logged in. And then the next thing I think that both of us like doing is changing that password, right?
Right, because that password was super impossible to remember.
Yeah.
So just a quick brief, what you're seeing here now, this is not your website. This is just the back end of your website where you're going to be doing a lot of the changes. And all this stuff that is showing up right there, you don't have to worry about that. We're going to delete all that, extra stuff that we don't need later. But right now we can just change the password first.
Right. So all this stuff is just like extra add-ons that we're going to show you how to delete. This is the dashboard. This is where you make the changes of your website. This is not your actual website. This is the back end of your website. So to change your password, just go to users and click on your username. and then scroll all the way down. Generate password. I'm going to hide this because I don't want the internet logging in. And I'm going to put in my password that I can remember and then press update profile. So yeah, that's it for that. So we can go here and we can say that we've logged into WordPress and changed our password. The next thing that we're going to do is delete plugins. Why would we want to do that?
Right. So if you ever bought a phone, you know how sometimes it comes with apps that you never use. So when you install WordPress, sometimes the host installs extra plugins that they think are useful, but in this case, we want to install our own plugin. So we're going to go ahead and delete all those extra plugins or extra apps that we have on our website. That way we can have a fresh start.
Right. So basically the hosting companies, all the hosting companies, they basically get paid to install people's plugins, and just like to get the cost of a computer down, they get paid to install some apps that you don't really need, but we don't need them and we don't want them all popping up on our website right here. And it's annoying. And so we're just going to start fresh and start clean. So just go to plugins, scroll down.
Yeah, it looks so spammy. Like if you look at it, there's so many things.
Right. All of these things. Yeah, exactly. All of these things are extra things that we don't need. That's crazy. So just click on this and then go to deactivate and apply, and then click it again and delete and apply. Cool. So now all that's gone. Yeah, we're starting off clean, and that's super awesome. So we deleted our plugins and we're just breezing through these things. The next thing that we're going to do is change our permalinks. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so a permalink is just like the URL of a specific location on your website. So for example, right now on this dashboard, you see it's learnhowtocreateawebsite.com/wp/plugins.php plugin status equals, a bunch of mumbo jumbo. If we don't change anything, when we go and make the about page, for example, it'll be learnhowtocreateawebsite/ something or other. It'll be a really confusing name that will be really hard to organize. It'll be really hard for people to find. It'll be really hard for Google to, link it somewhere on search. So we want to make it as simple as possible for you, for search engines, and for customers. And we're going to change the permalinks to just be, the name of the page that we're trying to create. So
right. So let's see an example of that. If we go to visit site, if we hover over here and press visit site, and we go to one of our posts that they automatically put on, we're going to see this, like what he was saying, this really ugly thing, this index.php. Like when you go to google.com, they don't have google.com/index.php/about. They just have google.com/about. The permalinks will fix that. So if we go hover over our online store and go to the dashboard, and we go to, do you remember where it is?
Settings, right?
Settings, permalinks. You got it. And then we click just on post name. Post name is great. And then we go to save changes. And then we go to visit our site again. And we see hello world. It won't have that index.php. It'll just say hello world. And then when we visit our site right now, what are we seeing?
WordPress has a really cool way of structuring the website for you called themes. So this is just the basic theme that they have for 2019. It's really simple. It's not really easy or intuitive to work with. So I think we should probably replace that with a better theme.
And the theme is the design of your website, what it looks like. And so this is the default theme or design, and it's very cool, right? Very simplistic, but it's not, in my opinion, very usable.
Yeah, not too fun either.
Yeah, not that fun at all. All right, so we are done changing the permalinks. The next thing that we're going to do is update WordPress. Why should we do that? Well, first let's go into our dashboard. So this is how you get back into the dashboard, and go to updates, and we can see that we don't have any updates. But why would someone want to update?
Right. You always want to make sure, there's on the internet, things are always changing. There's safety updates, bug fixes. So you always want to make sure that you're up to date so that your website is as fast as possible and as safe as possible.
If you're up to date, you get all the newest features also. So that's really cool. So we're up to date. That's great. And mark that off. Now we're going to delete our pages and posts. By default, WordPress installs pages and posts into your website. Pages are like your about page, your contact page, your services page, your store page. What would you say a post was?
If you're blogging, then that's when you would be using posts. So let's say that on your website, you want to, have some blog posts or some articles about what your store is about. Then you can definitely use your post to share that information. Like you said, there's some demo ones that don't really have any real information in them. So we want to delete them so that when somebody comes to our website, they only see what we put. They don't see some, pre-made post and think that the website is not being worked on.
So yeah, to do that, just click on pages, select all, move to trash, apply. And for posts, this would be like your blog posts. You would go there and move to trash and apply. So basically, you don't need to do this, but I'm a little OCD and I just want everything to be clean, everyone to start off fresh, basically.
And you don't want customers accidentally finding extra pages on your website that are empty. That's just weird. They're going to feel like this website's not finished yet. So we just want to make sure that everything that is on the website is stuff that we made.
Yeah. All right, so delete pages and posts. And then now we're going to install a new theme. And we sort of explained what a theme was a minute ago. But a theme is how your website looks. So we want a different theme that is, in our opinions, more powerful and can do a lot more things. So how do we do that?
So we're going to go to Appearance and we're going to choose Themes. And there's a lot of different themes from different companies that you can install. First, you see the ones that you already have. So these are the WordPress ones. So we're going to click Add a New Theme. And that's going to show us the search for the hundreds or thousands of themes that WordPress has. The one we're going to be using is called Astra because it makes it really easy for us to get started right away on our website.
So ASTRA, and that looks pretty cool. So we're going to install it. You can also go to details and preview and see that it has 5 stars, 1,328 reviews. Install it from there. Or we can install right here.
And if you, in the preview, it's always going to look empty. Like if you look at the preview for the Astra theme, it kind of looked empty. But that's just because we really don't have anything on the website right now. And the theme mostly controls your header and your footer and a little bit of how your blog works. But we're going to show you how you can actually start customizing that and make it look really cool.
Cool. So yeah, then after we click install, then we have to activate the theme. So we click on activate. All right. And now that we did that, it's going to say, thank you for installing Astra. Do you want to, put in the starter site template? And I don't think that we want to do it that way because this may change this, pop up right here. Do you agree?
Yeah, they can always promote something different there. So the best way to do it is through plugins. It's always going to be on plugins.
Right. So basically right now we've changed the theme of the website, but it's telling us, look, you can import an entire website in one click as a starting point. You can, of course, change that to any design that you want, but just as a starting point, why wouldn't you just have it import all of these pages and then you can tweak it? And it's just so much faster to do it that way rather than starting from blank. Then you can just focus more on your products and your content and things like that.
Right. There's some things that you're going to need. You're going to need to have a menu on your website. You're going to need to have a couple of pages. You're going to need to have a shopping cart. You're going to need to have products on there. So you could go and do that each thing one at a time by yourself. But doing a starter site does it is that it puts everything there for you. That way you just have to worry about, customizing it to how you want it to look, but all the functionality is already there.
Exactly. So to do that, we're going to go to plugins. And again, this huge pop-up, but we don't need it. We're going to go to add new and we're going to search for Astra starter sites. And then here it is, Astra starter sites, I believe. Yes, that's it. And we're going to install now. And we're going to and then we're going to activate. I think I clicked on more details. Oh no, I did activate.
Yeah.
All right, and then it's going to ask us, what's your page builder? Can you explain what this is?
So like we explained earlier, one way to make a web page is to use coding, which is really complicated, takes a really long time, and it's really hard to do. So a page builder is just a visual way to just drag and drop and build your page right then and there. And there's different ones like Elementor, Beaver Builder, Gutenberg, and Breezy. The best one we think is Elementor. They have a ton of different
by far.
Yeah, for anything that you want is going to be available. They let you move and change the size, color, font, image. You can change it completely to whatever you want. So Elementor is definitely the best thing we can work with right now.
Yeah, best one. It was Beaver Builder before, I feel like, but Elementor really surpassed them.
And
really
Elementor is also the fastest one. So, you can drag and drop and see it right away. You don't have to wait for anything to load like in a lot of the other builders.
Cool. So just click on Elementor because that's the builder that we're using. And then they have all of these things that you can just import in one click. So imagine if you're making a website for somebody, or you want to make your own website, just to do it in seconds rather than weeks or months or years, or never get it done. I think that's super cool.
Right. And you guys have to remember that what you're seeing is just a layout. Just because it's the plumber starter site doesn't mean that if you're not a plumber, you can't use that. For example, my dad is a carpenter. So a lot of the images that brings were already kind of good for me, since plumbing and carpentry are similar. So I went in, I changed some of the plumbing pictures to carpentry pictures. I changed the logo. I deleted some of the pages and added some different ones, put in their information. And, within a couple of hours, they had a completely custom website for carpentry, even though I used the plumbing layout. So just because the theme says it for one thing doesn't mean you can't use it for something else.
And I think, that is a huge misconception. I feel like that just because it's about wildlife or yoga or something, that it can't be used for something else. And that's a big mistake, I think. And I think that's something that these places need to make more clear. Just because the pictures are something and the content's something doesn't mean it has to be that, just like what you were saying. I've worked with the Astra people, and I made something. I told them exactly what I would want in a website, and that was just simply natural. So we're going to click on that one. I think it's really cool. Let me know what you guys think. It's just super simple, super awesome. All you have to do is click on it and then just press install plugins, and that's going to add a whole bunch of functionality to your website. So what does a Contact Form 7 plugin do?
Right. So normally one of the steps you'd have to do is go in and add in each and every plugin one at a time. Mm-hmm. So like we said, the starter sites does that for you. One less thing we have to do. So Contact Form 7 will add in the tool that we need to create a contact form so our customers can message us on the contact page. Elementor will install the page builder that we haven't installed yet. Header and footer blocks for Elementor will give us extra widgets if you want to customize our header or our footer. And it will also install WooCommerce for us, which will make all of our shop and cart work.
Yeah, so WooCommerce is the store functionality. So all we have to do is click install plugins, and bam, how much time did that save us?
Right. So WooCommerce will take care of your My Account page, your cart, your shopping cart, the payment processing, shipping. All these things that sometimes you don't think about, it's already set up and ready for you. So it does make it super easy to get started and start selling.
Yeah. And after it installs the plugins, then we can click import site and press OK. And now what's happening here?
So now all the images, text, and everything that's part of the starter site is getting moved over to our website. So even though this is for plants, just if you're selling pots, you can just change the picture of the plant to a picture of a pot, change the title from plant to pot, plug in your price, and it's the same thing. You don't have to worry about sticking to one thing.
Right. You can sell phones or crayons or sand if you're a very good marketer.
Right. Rocks.
Rocks if you're an absolute genius and much smarter than we are. But you can do anything. It's just the content is changing and just everything.
Right. So if, like an ebook, maybe you're a photographer and you want to sell photos that you've taken, or maybe you are a DJ and you have custom tracks and you want to sell your music, you can have downloadable music. So anything digital, anything physical, or even a service, you could sell anything through your website.
Right. And then from there, you could even install extra plugins so you can be an affiliate. You can drop ship. There's just endless things to do. But it's all done importing. So let's click done and view our site. Yeah. So that took about 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, something like that for us. And yeah, so we can exit out of here and we have an entire website done, and it looks awesome, I think.
Right.
I mean, it has these testimonials and has these plants and everything like that.
Right. So this is the same page we saw a couple of minutes ago that was blank with text in it. And it looks now completely different with just a couple of steps.
And a lot of people ask me, oh, now someone's going to go to my website and they're going to see this. Well, the bad news is no one's probably going to your website yet. I mean, that's the sad thing. It's going to take a time to get ranked in the search engines, and it's going to take time for you to advertise it on Facebook or Google or in person on your business cards or whatever. If you are still pretty paranoid about that, or it's already advertised somehow and people are going to it somehow, then you can install a maintenance plugin.
There's a plugin that's really easy to use. It's called Under Construction. I use it all the time. You just download it. It just has one button, on or off. You click on, then when somebody goes to your website, it'll just say it's under construction. And when you're done, you just click off, and that's it.
So yeah, you'd go into your dashboard, click plugins, type in under construction, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's just called under construction.
And then install it, and then you would have the option to put your website under construction so that people would see under construction instead of this.
Right. But the reality is that unless you're advertising it somehow right now, which you're probably not, because why would you be advertising it if you don't have it yet? Most likely nobody's going to come across your website. Even Google takes a couple of days to even begin to rank your website.
Yeah.
So, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we have a store. So you've made the store. This would have cost you a lot of money. Yeah, so we have this store. It looks awesome. We can go to our store and we can see that we have plants. And I don't know why they would give them 2 stars out of 5.
That was a very bad plant.
This plant just sucks. But yeah, you can zoom up, and it has a review. Well, best quality. I don't know. He gave it 2 stars.
Yeah, maybe he was confused. We thought 2 stars was good.
And you could go to the description, and it says it, and you can see related products. So that's all cool. This page is customizable. We can add to cart. Let's see how that works. And then it added to cart, so it's up here now. And then we can view our cart, either here or here. You can change all these colors and everything, obviously, but we can proceed to checkout.
You can even create a coupon if you want to.
Right, you could create a coupon and then give your good customers a coupon or email them to lure them in. And so we haven't set up payment methods, so it's not going to allow us to place an order right now, but enter in all of their information and place an order, and then you'd get the money from 4 or 5 billion people potentially in the entire world. That's your target market if you ship everywhere, or just like 350 million in the United States, or however many in Australia or Canada or India or wherever you're watching from. But yeah, I think that's super awesome, and that's how it works. We have an About Us, and that looks great. We have a Contact Us, and that was that contact form 7 that you're talking about.
Right, there it is.
And we have a My Account. So if someone has an account, they would be able to see their orders, their downloads, the dashboard, everything like that. We also have categories. So maybe we only want to see cactuses, then we only see cactuses.
Right. So if you were, let's say, a mechanic, right, and you're selling car parts, maybe your categories would be like, mufflers, engine, wheels, right? So if you're selling clothes, tops, shoes, shirts. So you have to get creative and, change all these things to make them fit your website.
Exactly. All right. So we did all of that. So we installed the theme, installed starter sites, import the websites. The next thing that we're going to do is change the title and tagline. So why do we want to change our title and tagline? Why is that important?
Well, you probably don't want to call yours online store because it's kind of generic. You want to have your own name up there, and you want to use a tagline to either have your slogan or describe your website a little bit. Also, if you want to do SEO, you might even want to put some keywords in your tagline, and that can help you a little bit too.
Definitely. And when you scroll over your website, hover over it, it says online store. If it comes up, just another WordPress website, but you want it to say your website name and then something descriptive.
Right.
So to do that, let's click on customize. And where does it exist here?
It should be under the site identity, right under layouts.
Layout, site header, and site identity. Nice. All right, so this is where we also can change the logo. We'll do that in a second. But right here, it says site title, and we want it to say the name of your business, probably. I'm just going to put in Simply Natural. Did I spell that right? Simply Natural. Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And then display site title. So you can either display it or not display it, or display the tagline, and then it shows up here, or not display it. And for the tagline, I'm going to say like what we do. So I'm going to say we sell succulents, cacti, and pots, not pot.
Yeah, that would be bad.
It says I do live in California, so. Is it legal in Florida?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. So we did that, and then we can press publish, and this shows up in the search engine. So this title is going to show up in the search engine, and what you do, like he said, there should be keywords and things like that. That's going to show up in the search engine. So we'll click on publish. We will exit out of here. Probably shouldn't have exited out of there, but because we're about to do a logo. But so now we have that all going on. So yeah, and then we can go over here and it will show up just like that. It's raining right here in Los Angeles, which is crazy. Sorry, I'm very distracted, but look, it's very...
It was raining here yesterday. A lot, the whole day.
So that's pretty crazy. It doesn't rain here a lot. We don't know what to do in LA. We're just freak out. All right. So anyways, the next thing that we're going to do, we're done with that. It's super easy. We're going to create your logo.
But Tyler, I don't have Photoshop. How can I possibly create a nice logo?
You can't. Sorry. No, just kidding. There's a whole bunch of websites to create your logo. My favorite one, actually, I built this one, and then I sold it, is logomaker.com, logomakr.com without the E. So you go here and you can watch the video. Do you know of any other logo making tools?
There's a lot of companies that will, like, you plug in your company information and they kind of generate like a couple of them for you, but not where you have like a canvas where you can build it yourself.
So yeah, there's like Photoshop clones, but you're getting kind of deep into it. You know, it's you have to
learn a whole other side of things. Yeah, and this is great. Like if you're just starting for the first time and you just need something to get you off the ground, so get you a pretty good logo.
Right. And I always want to tell people that you can just literally type your name out. You know, people aren't going to buy or not buy from you from your logo, probably. I mean,
unless it's a really bad logo.
Yeah, unless it's really bad. And a lot of logos are really bad. And so it's like, you should just like take your name and just type it out in caps rather than have a trillion things going on in your logo, 17 different colors. And I don't know, just try to make it simple, I think.
Yeah, with logos, a lot of times less is more. So like if you think of any well-known good logo, McDonald's, Apple, Microsoft, Nike, they don't have 50 colors. They don't have 25 shapes. Like Nike's logo isn't somebody playing basketball. It's just, Nike's logo has nothing to do with sports or athletics at all. It's just a symbol.
Right.
So don't overthink it. It's just a symbol that people can recognize. That's it.
Right. Or yeah, like IBM, they just like I and a B and an M.
Yep.
And, it's just like whatever, super simple. All right, so I'm going to type in succulent because that's what mine's about. And try to find something that is good. This one looks pretty simple. And then once we have it here, you have any input on that?
Yeah, I think we can show them that you can change the color and you can add, shape or text if you want to as well.
Right. So yeah, you could change any of the colors up here. You can even put in your own color. Let's say like your web developer says, these are the colors of your website. Not your web developer. If you decide, these are the colors of your website.
These are the colors. You're not allowed to pick any other colors.
Or your graphic designer says it. Then, you could put in the hex code right here. Something like that. Yeah. So yeah, you put in the code and then that's the exact color. And I'll show you that in a little while. All right, so yeah, we can resize this. We can add text. We can say succulent, and then we can change the color. Put that over here, and whoops.
Change the font.
Change that color and change the font, and resize things and rotate things, and
Yeah, overlap them.
Put this here. I don't know.
Out of shape.
Whatever. That's terrible. But we could delete things. But we're just going to use this symbol right here for it. So I'm just going to go here, and then I'm just going to press save. And then I'm going to say, no thanks, download regular resolution file. And then I'm just going to say this one is the darker logo. Save. And then exit out of here. And then I'm going to create a white version because right here we have a white version for our transparent header. So you're not going to be able to see it, but it exists. So go white, and then save, and then download, and then white version.
Yeah, and the reason we're making two versions of the logo is that if you have, for example, let's say you have a paragraph and you want to add your logo, obviously a white logo doesn't work next to text on a white background.
Right.
So that's what you use a darker logo for. And if you have a dark picture like you do on the home page, then you want a white version of your logo. That's also
Exactly.
why the logo should be simple, because if your logo had like multiple colors and like flags and like things coming out of it, well then it's really hard to make it fit somewhere, because colors will always clash with whatever you're putting it on.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard for people to understand. It's like, well, what is that? And then it should just be like simple, like, oh, okay, I get it. This is about like nature, succulents.
That's it. Yeah.
If we go down here, we can see that this is the dark version of the logo. And if we go up here, we can see that this is the light version of the logo. So we're going to go to customize. And where was that again?
Layouts and headers.
Layout, header, site identity. And then we're going to not use a different logo for Retina. That's fine. I mean, doesn't matter. We're going to remove this logo and then add the dark logo. So upload files, select files, the darker version, select, and then skip cropping. It wants to crop it. Skip cropping. All right, our darker version is there. It's not really going to show up here because this is the transparent header. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and then go to the transparent header and uncheck on a Retina device. That's just like if you have a really big logo and you want to resize it down, but our logo is already pretty big, so it's going to look fine on a Retina device. So we're going to remove this logo and then select image, upload files, select files, and then do the white version. And choose image. And then there it is, and that looks pretty cool. The next thing that I want to do, just while we're here, is change this fave icon. So right here, it's a little, how would you explain it?
Yeah, it's just like a smaller version of your logo, pretty much. Just to, like, if somebody has a lot of tabs open, obviously the more tabs they have open, your name kind of starts to shrink. So at a glance, they can look at it and they can see, oh, that's that page that I had open. It's an identifier.
So this usually wouldn't be here, but it's already there now. If we go to site identity and we go down here and we select icon, we can select the image and we can choose it. I mean, if we chose this image, it would look really weird, but we're just going to choose a simple right here and then select, and then it's going to ask you to crop it, and then just crop image. You have to crop it because it has to be a certain squareness.
Those have to be square.
And then, it's good. So it'll show up right there instead of like the default HostGator thing or just a regular page. So publish that and exit out of there. And now you have your new logo. And if we go to a page, maybe like the My Account page, we can see the dark version. And if we go to home, we can see the light version. So yeah, we did that. Bam, bam. Now, your favorite part, we're going to change the homepage.
This is where you really get to customize your site.
Yeah, and this is where, you can do anything on your entire website. You can make it look like any other website in the entire world. So how do we do that?
Right. So the easiest way to do it is to just click Edit with Elementor on the top, where right there in the center. You can also go to the dashboard, but the easiest way is probably just to click Edit with Elementor on the page that you're on.
Yeah, and just know that this bar is not always going to be here. When people go to your website, this bar is just for you because you're logged in. People won't see this. So
right.
Yeah, just click Edit with Elementor. And how do we explain all of this?
Yeah, so there's a lot going on because, like Tyler said, you can change anything on this website. Like if you wanted to make it look like any other website, you could. And there's a million settings to do that. So pretty much the website is broken up into 3 different parts. There's rows, which is what goes all the way from left to right, and that's symbolized by the blue, long blue tabs that you see at the top. There's columns, which is each row can have multiple columns, and those are the gray little boxes that you see right there. And then there's content, which is what you add to your website, whether that's a picture or text or a button or a link, anything. So pretty much the website is broken up into those 3 things. As a matter of fact, all websites, any website you go to will be rows, columns, and content. So we can edit each one of those things to make it look however we want.
Exactly. And then so on the left side here, we have all of our different widgets. I guess they're called widgets. that you can just click, hold, and drag into any of your rows and columns. So if we click plus right here, and you click plus again, you can add 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4, you know, a sidebar type column. You know, you could split it in half. But right now we're just going to add 1. So let's add 1. And then we can go back to our widgets by clicking on this. And we can drag any of these widgets into here. You can also drag any of the widgets into up here or anywhere you want. So, but we're just going to drag it. What do you think we should drag here?
Let's add, for example, a headline. Like there's no headline there, so you can put like featured products or something.
So yeah, we have a heading here, and then we can center it, and then we can say these are our featured products. I think it says that down below. So these are our
top bestsellers, maybe.
Bestsellers, yeah. All right, so we have our bestsellers here. And now someone's like, well, I don't like that font, or I don't, you know, it's too close to here.
The top. It's too far from the bottom.
Too far from the bottom. You can change literally anything that you want. So we can, you know, bold it, underline it, italic. That's all really simple. We can also click on it and then just go to style and change the typography. Maybe we want this to be
any font.
Reenie Beanie. That's a cool one. And then we'll, you know, put bestsellers, and that's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. We can also change the text color to blue or green, or, you know, maybe we want it to be a succulent color, like right there. Something there. All right, and then what would people want to do next?
Well, they can fix the spacing, so they can
fix the spacing. There's 2 ways of fixing the spacing. One of them is clicking on all of the widgets here, and then adding a spacer. That's pretty cool, and you could just go like that. All right, now the spacing is a little better. The other way, and to delete something, you just right-click. And press delete. The other way is, what's the other way to do spacing?
With padding and margin. That's kind of the way that I like to do it, just because, you know, it's less things to add to the website. And it's really cool. So for example, if you click any content, so you just click on bestsellers and you go to advanced, you'll see that you get margin and padding. So margin is all the space outside of the box that you see that bestsellers in, and padding is all the space inside of the box. So yeah, you can do either of them. It would serve the same purpose here, but let's just do paddings. I like to unlink the values, because if the values are linked, they're all going to be the same. All right. So I like to unlink the values. And then on the top, let's just put maybe 50. And on the bottom, let's put 50. All right, so that gives us some padding in there. Right. Go on. Yeah, but now, as you can see, you just did that, but now there's too much on the next section. So we can scroll over it. You get the option for that one, and then you can click right there in the middle for the like options right for that row. Yep. And you go to advanced, and you'll see that one already has some padding. It has 100. Right. So we can probably shrink that down and get it to look more even. To 0, or, you know, put it back on 100 and then change this one. You know, and you can change these things in multiple places. So you can change it here, then go to advanced and change the top and bottom. Or we could make that 0 again. Or go to the entire row and then go to advanced and then change the padding here. So top, you know. So yeah, you can change the spacing of the item or the row or the column, and it'll have the same effect. Obviously, if we had something on top of bestsellers or multiple things stacked, it would be more noticeable. But you can pretty much change it for any item. Right. And so yeah, that's pretty cool. Another thing that you can do is you can add some text below it. So maybe we want some text below it. We just drag in a text editor, and then we put some
These are the best selling things ever in your life. Okay.
In the world.
And then we can go to style, and we can center that. And you can also go to advanced, and we can make the margins 0 and the padding 0, or change that. And you can go to style and change any of the typography, make it bigger or smaller. That looks better. And then with a line height, you can make it so it gets a little bit closer to the best sellers. Mm-hmm. And we can add a new widget, and then we can add like a button. Let's try to add a button. What?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta mess with it a little bit.
So I'm just gonna add it wherever I can, and then I'm gonna drag this one
on top
above it. All right, yeah. So, and then you can go to content and center the button, and we can link it to the about page. Just start typing about, and now that button will link to the about page. And we can click on this whole section again and go to advanced, and we can add even more padding. Not that much padding, but let's say 100 on the top and 100 on the 100 on the top and 100 on the bottom, and now we have our own little cool section here.
Yeah,
and
you can even add a background to it.
Yeah, so if we click on this and then we go to style, we can add a background to it. So let's add a background. Let's just add a color. And let's make it a little lighter. And so there we go, a very ugly background color.
Or we can show them how to do a gradient too.
Oh yeah, gradient. That's a good idea. So it goes from one color to the next.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with gradients, because gradients will either look good or make your website look really old.
It might turn out looking like really this, and then that's not a good thing. You can change the angle of the gradient, which I think is just the coolest effect ever. Sometimes I just do this for hours. We can, click here and change the color of the button. So we have the background color. Let's say this is blue. This is like the ugliest section ever.
How to not make a website section. Look, just do the opposite of this and it'll look amazing.
Yeah, you're going to have a great website if you just do the opposite of what we're doing right here. You can also add a video background. This one's really cool. So if we go to video background, and then let's Google search, YouTube search, I don't know, like
a nature video,
there you go. Thank you.
Or nature or something. That would probably
nature video on YouTube. Okay, so
that looks cool.
Yeah, that does look cool. Should we go with? Let's go with green. Yeah. All right, awesome. So we take this, and we'd probably skip a few minutes into it. So anyways, we copy this, and then we paste it here, and then it says, when do you want to start the time? Let's start the time at in seconds. Let's start the time at 200 seconds.
Yeah, that way it kind of starts in the middle, not from the beginning with the intro and all that stuff.
Right. Well, this isn't a good one because it has this get the nature app.
Yeah. But you guys will find a much better video.
500. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Now we find a part that doesn't have it.
Okay. So, yeah. And then we have this cool video on it. I think this is just pictures. Is that?
I think it's just really slow, time lapse videos.
Hi, Barbara Corcoran here.
Oh my god, ads. Okay, sorry. Let's do better. Oh my god.
Yeah.
My life. Oh yeah, you're right. It's just really slow. Okay. So this is a. Yeah, that's a video, but it's just really slow. Okay, so this is how not to make any sort of website. So we're going to delete this section because...
Before you delete it...
Oh, no, okay. You can always undo.
Okay, I'm gonna show Tyler. I'm gonna show you how to save this section really quick. Okay.
Oh, okay. Just in
'Cause
case,
it
can we
looks really
save a
bad.
different section, please?
No. I want them to see how to make it better in a couple of steps.
Okay,
So
good.
look, just show them how to copy and paste the style from the top section to the bottom section so they can match. Yeah, we're gonna show
Okay.
them that.
So copy, and then we'll paste this here.
Paste style. That'll
Paste
match the styling. Right.
Okay, we'll
you
copy
wanna
this one too,
Yeah, and
and
paste
then we'll
to the
paste
bottom
this
section,
one,
and then paste the button style as well.
and we'll make
That
this
way-
one white, right? Let's make this.
Yeah, I probably want to make it
This
white.
one white. Go to style, text color, make it white. Okay, and then copy
Copy
the
the button style.
Got it. Paste
Cool.
style. And then how should we handle the background?
Yeah, and then let's add just a little bit of a black overlay to the back to the video. I think if you scroll down, you get some other options.
Background,
background
overlay.
just a little bit dark, just to make the letters easier to read.
Style, dark.
Yeah, there you go. And then you can make it a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. So
Ooh.
significantly better. It's all.
Yes.
It's still not great, but a little bit better.
Yeah,
So-
a little better. Here, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of. I think we chose the wrong video. I chose the wrong video.
Maybe there's a nice picture on the
Yeah,
media.
we'll just do this. Oh no, you know what we should do? We should do an image. Let's select an image
Maybe a cool plant you have in there.
right here.
That one looks like it might be too tall.
Yeah. Okay. Select an image. This one maybe. Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. And then for the image, we can change the attachment. No, we could change the size. And I like to do cover because then it
cover will usually make it fit the best, side to side.
Yeah.
At least.
And then I don't think this should be here. So you just click, hold, and drag. And then let's scroll down so that it's not like color on
Right.
top of color. So,
In between.
okay, much better.
Yeah, and we can add if you set it to fixed, it'll give it a cool effect. They might like that.
Okay, so if we go here and we go to style and we go to attachment and fixed, then it will stay while it's scrolling instead of if we do default, it will move while it's scrolling. So that's really cool. And then of course you can change the position. Maybe that we should go center or top center. Yeah. And then okay, that is much, much better. Thank you for saving that.
No problem. So what we're trying to show is that if you just throw a bunch of things together, it probably won't look too great. But if you at least try to make all the parts of your website be in a similar style, you give a little bit of thought to the images you choose, a little bit of thought to the font that you choose. With some tweaks, you can make something look really good. Like you saw that from the section we had a couple of seconds ago to this one. It was a couple of different settings, but it looks so much better.
Yeah, so much better. Okay, so this is something that we could live with. Yeah. So what else should they know? Anything else about this besides here? We'll just keep that. Besides that, you can change any of these sections just like we changed that one. Any of these things, any of these images, any of these texts, anything. You can add in a bunch of different columns and drag in anything in here, like maybe an image here, or a button or a video or a Google Maps or gallery or ratings or counters or progress bars. You can put a progress bar right here. I mean, you could just do anything. What else do people?
Well, I kind of want to cover because I sometimes I feel like people are scared to make changes to their website because they think that if they do something wrong, it'll break.
Yeah. So should I show them how to break a website? That would be really interesting.
The thing is that it's really hard to break it. You have to like you can make it ugly, but it's not going to break. You can always there's an undo button. You can undo it.
Right. So if I add a section and just like completely just don't think about anything, I put this here and this image here and divider.
Google Maps.
Yeah, a Google Maps. basically imagine that this is just like the ugliest thing. The least thought. I mean, it's not looking that bad actually.
Right. Like, it's really hard to like break it. You have to make an effort. Like that almost looks okay.
Yeah. Then we could do like a image carousel. Okay, so just imagine this was. I didn't add. What?
Yeah, sometimes you got to put it on top and then wiggle it down.
Okay, yeah. So for image carousel, you'd add images and then you can like slide all of them.
Yeah.
But anyways, imagine that like, okay, you really messed up this. I mean, this doesn't look that bad, but then you can press Control Z or Command Z and you could just undo it. It's no big deal. So don't feel weird, like,
mess with it.
Yeah, messing with it.
Yeah.
You can also go to the history here.
Mm-hmm. And you can jump back a couple of steps or like a couple of days even.
Yeah, so you can say, oh, man, I really actually did want all of that. Or, yeah, just add the button.
Yeah, or I only wanted up to this part.
And then the revisions will, whatever you saved, if you actually press update, you can just jump back days ago or weeks ago or months ago. So feel free just to play with it. That's the only way that you're really going to, understand how all of this works is just by playing with it and trying to build something. Maybe sketch out something on paper and be like, oh, how would I build that? And you can do that easily.
I kind of want to show me if you scroll up a little bit. You see you have those three sections with the 3 plants. You would edit, let's say you want to edit one of the existing sections instead of add a new one.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, you just click on it. And sometimes when you click on it, you're like, oh, wait, it's not doing anything. You can always right click and edit column, or you can click on this button up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to style, and then you have all the options. You have the image, you have everything here. You can click here and you can put in whatever you want. You can, of course, undo that. And then you can make this link to any of your pages. So you click on that, and then you start typing some page, plant, and you can do that. So,
right,
or you can put in your own link.
If you notice on this section, there's 3 backgrounds, right? There's each plant has its own background. So for this section, instead of adding a background to the row, you added a background to each column. So, just doing something simple like that gives it a completely different look. But, compared to like if you had just one big background going all the way across.
Right. And then they rounded the corners and yeah, it looks really cool.
Right. So if you scroll down and you go to borders, you see that there you have options to add a border, add a shadow, round it. Like Tyler can make it square if he puts it like to 0, or if he puts it to 100, it'll look like, yeah, there you go. Super, round it off. So right. Yeah, don't be scared to like go in and be like, oh, what does this do? And just change it and see what it does. And then you'll be like, okay, I like that, or maybe I don't want that.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah. The other thing I want to talk about is this shows your cart. So this is a special code. And basically it's saying, look, show the featured items. And then it says product limit, show 8 of them and put them in 4 columns. So it's going to be 8 products in 4 columns. So it's going to be 4 on top and 4 on bottom. And this is what's called a short code. And this is just sort of just like a custom plugin that you added. And if you go to plugin details, they tell you how it works. Right. And I'll show you how to feature an image, a product.
Yeah, so a lot of the times, short codes, the only time you really use them is that if you have a different plugin that is not built into Elementor, but it has a feature that you want to add it in, short code is a way that you can copy and paste the code, and then you can pretty much get anything into Elementor. In this case, the WooCommerce, that is the shopping plugin, which is a separate plugin from Elementor, says, hey, listen, if you want to add our layout to your Elementor page, just plug in this code wherever you want it to show up, and it'll show up. So we plugged it in there, and now if you save the page and look at it, you see that the products are there.
Exactly. And then they put in testimonials, and you can edit this just like you would edit in anything, and yeah. Super simple. Super simple. So we're just going to update that. And we're going to preview our changes and exit out of there. And you can also preview it on your main website since you updated it. And we can see that our new bestseller section is there. And we should have changed this text not to click here, but yeah. And then we can see that code right there. So it's 4 on top, 4 on bottom of the featured plants. So yeah, super simple to edit your website. You can go to the About Us page, and you can edit this website just the same. Just edit with Elementor, and you can edit it. Super simple.
Cool. What's next?
The next thing is how do you add a page? So before we get into the shop, I want to show people how to add pages. So
cool. Yeah. So the way I like to do it, I like to go back into the dashboard. There's more than one way to do it, but usually this is the way that never changes. You go to pages.
Yeah, my mom always said there's more than one way to skin a cat. And so I quit school, and she said that's not what I meant. All right, go to pages.
And then you can click add new.
Add new.
Add a new page. And those are all your other pages that you see on there.
Right, and we're using WordPress 5, which has Gutenberg, but which is an editor. It's their new WordPress editor. But why are we using Elementor and not the Gutenberg new WordPress editor?
Right. So with Elementor, the benefit is that as you build it, you can see what your website is actually going to look like. So that's a lot easier for a designer or even somebody who's just starting. If you can actually see what you're doing, you don't have to keep going to your site, then going to your dashboard, then going to your site. And it's really easy to just click and make a change. Drag and drop in a picture and upload your picture. With Gutenberg, there's a lot more steps, and then you got to go back and forth to see what it is that you're actually doing.
Right, and also Elementor is more of a mature product, and they've thought out everything, I think, better, and so it just works a little bit better than Gutenberg, or a lot bit better, in my opinion. Gutenberg their editor has a long way to go. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add a title, services, let's say, and then we're going to edit with Elementor instead of writing things down here.
We should probably publish the page, right? So that it shows up?
I don't think you need to. Well, I think it's auto-saving. It's doing something crazy. Let's see. Yeah, should we publish it? Probably. Okay, so let's publish it. Publish the page. You're probably right.
Yeah. You can always go, even if you were to miss this step, you can, after you finish editing, you can always go back and click publish. That's fine.
Yeah. And then we'll edit with Elementor. All right, and then that's going to open up Elementor for us, and it'll be the same thing. But I think we should show them content blocks. I don't know what they're called. What are they called?
I think, they're like template blocks or content blocks. They change the name every once in a while.
So how do we do that?
Yeah, so if you click...
Or why do we do that? Sorry, let's do why.
Yeah, so we know that if you click the plus, you get to make your own section. But that can take a long time, and maybe you're not sure how you want to organize it. You can click the little folder, and you get looks like it logs you out. Yeah, sometimes when you leave a window open for a long time, it logs you out. That's okay. Yeah. See,
Thanks.
like if something happens, like when you're doing your website, if you get a pop-up or something crazy happens, like don't worry about it. Just refresh the page. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
I get so many emails from little things that people get scared of. I'm like, that's normal. Just refresh the page and keep working on your website.
It's fine. It's probably fine. You'll be able to figure it out. And sometimes it's going to take a little while to figure it out, or you're going to have to Google search something, and it's okay.
Right.
Okay. So what do we do?
We click the little folder, and that's going to show us templates. And there's 3 kinds of templates.
So this is, this is super awesome. I feel like they've thought about all these different really cool layouts for you that you could just click and it could put into your website, and then that could be a starting point rather than starting from scratch.
Right.
So, okay, what do we do?
Okay, so right now what you have in front of you are the pages. So these are all completely done pages for you. If you go to blocks, don't use that page. I want to show them blocks really quick. If you go to blocks, these are, instead of whole pages, maybe just sections. maybe you want to have a header section, then add an FAQ section, and then add like a I don't know, like an image section. You can add each section, or you can add a whole page. So I think we're gonna do a whole page.
Let's see if that works again. Okay, yeah. Risky click of the day, but it worked.
Right. It happens. Like, you get a little glitch like that. Like we're saying, when things are online, it depends. Is the server working like on a computer that's 100 miles away? Like, we don't know.
Yeah, just wait a little while and try again.
Right.
It'll work a lot of the times. Okay, so we do that. We love this page. It looks awesome. So we insert it. And it's going to take a little while to insert because it is grabbing everything from their computers and then putting it on your server, your hosting, and It's downloading all of the images and downloading the text and downloading the style of it and, configuring it all for you. So it's going to take a little while.
Right. But it's still great because imagine how long it would have taken you to do that from scratch.
Right.
So
this would have took 10 minutes. No, 20 minutes, half an hour. I don't know. But it's all like designed really nicely. It's all designed really nicely. And then so we can update that. Or we could change anything, of course. Change the video. Change the text. Change the button. Change where the button's links to. You could do anything that you did before. But let's update that.
Colors, match your colors.
Yeah, match any of the colors. This is a background overlay. This purple. So you go to style and you see the background overlay, color purple. So let's update that. And you update it and then you preview your changes. And we can exit out of this one. And now we have an entire page, but what's the problem? Do you see the problem?
Yeah. How are people gonna go to this page?
How are people gonna go to this page? Exactly. They can't. It's not up here. How do people go to the page? Before we do that,
give
though,
up, right?
What?
We just give up.
I think we should just give up. No.
So there's a couple of ways you can do it through the customizer, or you can do it through the dashboard.
Yeah. Well, before we do that, I want to show them one more thing that I think is really cool. If we go to edit page, how do we get this to be the transparent header? Basically, is what I want to show them. So
I think you can add it in to the page option.
Edit page. Then we can scroll down, and then it says transparent header, and then we'll say enabled. Shablam. Update that. Wait for it to update. Press view page. And then we have, wow. Sometimes you just get lucky. Look at that. That's dope.
Sometimes it looks really bad. So don't worry about it.
Sometimes it looks absolutely terrible. But I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah, Matt, it works. All
right. I'm just going to redo my website in this really quickly. I'll be right back. All right. So, what was our problem? Our problem is that there's no services page here in our navigation. Mm-hmm. That's not good. We actually have two problems. And the other problem is that this menu is glitching out. If you click on homepage, it doesn't take you home for some reason. It takes you to this page. So that's a problem.
How do we fix our menu?
So how do we fix our menu? How do we control our menu? How do we rearrange things? So how do we do it?
The way that I like to do it is from the dashboard, because sometimes in the customizer you're like missing options. So I don't know which way you like to do it better. You like to do it through the customizer? Or
I usually show people from the customizer, but let's show people both. So what I would do, but you're right, it is glitchy, and thank you for showing me the way, because this is glitchy sometimes. So you go here, and then you go to menus, and then we have our main menu. And you can click, hold, and drag and rearrange or add items. But we're going to do it your way. So let's exit out of here. The benefit of doing it to the customizer way is that you can see it live.
Yeah, you can see it live.
But this is probably a better way.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with the menu. It's just like it's either one order or it's in the other order.
Yeah, so you can imagine it. So we're going to go to our dashboard, and then what do we do?
If we're going to go to appearance and then menus.
So appearance, then menus.
And
All right.
there's our menu right there.
There's our menu. So if we can imagine, and we can even open up another tab that has our website so we can go back and forth.
Yeah, see it.
That's a pro tip right there.
So the services page is right there on a recent page that we just created. You can see on the top
So
left.
we have services here, and then we click
Add it to the menu.
add it to the menu. And if we save, well, let's make it capital like all the other ones. So all the other ones are caps. So we're going to make it caps too. All right. And then let's rearrange it. Where should we put the services?
Right, maybe around about or
Yeah, I think so. I think right after about. I like to put them in, well, it depends. But I like the services there. Or about there. All right, then we press save menu. And it saves, and then we go here, and then we refresh. It's not going to refresh automatically. All right, it's not done yet. So we refresh again. We have our services page there. So we click on services. And what do you know? It works. Is this website mobile friendly? We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, the website is responsive. So whatever size the person's computer screen is, or laptop screen, or their phone screen, it will automatically adjust. Now, Elementor has some tools that lets you tweak it a little bit more. Maybe you want to have one background on the phone and a different background on the computer and things like that. But without you doing anything, it is responsive.
Yeah, so it's going to work on everyone's phones and everything like that. And yeah, it's going to be super awesome. Okay, so we did that and we put the menu there, but we really don't want a services page there. So let's go to our services page and just remove it. Save menu, and now
It'll be gone.
that is gone.
Gone, but not forgotten.
Yes, gone but not forgotten. Is that like a...
I don't know. I heard that somewhere. Cool. So let's fix the home page.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's messed up. So, the home page. I don't know why it goes to the other crazy place.
If you click right there to open where it says home, so if you look at it, they titled it homepage, but it looks like it's connected. The link is to Hello World, which is a blog post.
Oh, that we deleted.
Yeah, exactly. So you should remove that and then add home again.
Add this home.
Then, yeah.
Drag it to the top. And then home.
There you go.
Save menu.
What Tyler's typing in is just what he wants to call the page.
Right.
He could type it. Yeah, he could type in there about, and it would still be the home page. It would just show the word about.
Or I could put in like not the home page.
And it would still be the home page.
Don't click. Right. But it would still be the home page. And yeah, after we're done with that, if we go here and we refresh again, that services page should be gone. And the home page should actually go to the home page. Cool.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Like magic.
All right. The next thing that we're going to do is we added a page, edit navigation page, the main website colors and buttons. So what I mean by this is if we visit our site. Okay. Sorry, I don't really know how to do this.
I normally do with Elementor. I just change the things in there.
So it's going to be
add that section. I think you go to customizer and then
we should have practiced this before. Always practice before you go on YouTube.
Okay.
It's very important. All right, you go to customize.
Well, there's colors and background right there.
Hey, making it easy on us.
Probably there.
Colors and background, base colors, yay. Okay, so we can change all of our base colors, which is like what this green looks like. So if we go to theme color, this is the hex color. And people always tell me, what the hex does that mean? And that's a terrible joke.
Yeah. That's just every color that is available online, like for a website to display, has an identifying number. So
Right.
that number is just you might not remember every shade of green, but if you save the number, you know that as long as you use that number, you're going to get the same color.
Right. So we're going to copy this, and then we're going to make the theme base color a blue. And we're going to see how that changes things. And it didn't do anything. So that's super exciting.
Sometimes you have to click on, there you go.
So yeah, it has these. If we click on this, perhaps things will be blue in there. No. Yeah, some things will be blue. Okay. So we're just going to go back to this one. And for the link color, okay, yeah, I think that's where it's going to be.
Yes, sometimes you just got to click around and see what changes, to find out what each thing that does.
The link color, let's make it this. And we have the link up here.
The shopping cart, yeah.
The shopping
cart. So it looks like right now from what we're changing. Yeah, it looks like everything that we designed, the colors are being controlled by Elementor, and everything that is not part of Elementor, so the theme, settings and like the shop settings that are coming from a different plugin, those are being modified with this.
Right. So it might be here, but it's not. But we can go to header colors. And yeah, this is the transparent header color. So we can select this. We can actually change, copy it. And then that changes. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's it. And
you have there the desktop icon. So I think they actually might have an option for you to have different colors on like different devices if you want to. Is that what that is?
Where?
The desktop icon right next to each color.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Can you make it? Wow. Oh, look, there you go. Mobile.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. Okay, so how do we actually change? All these buttons are being controlled by Elementor, so it's not anything. And then we learned how to change this. So those are all the colors. Those are all the places that the colors should be. Yeah, so we can exit out of there, and let's not save that because we like that green. And the next thing that we're going to do is the fonts of the website. So how do we do that?
I think for this, it's probably going to be the same way, where you can change the font of, WooCommerce, other installed plugins, and like the theme. But the fonts that we set up in Elementor will still be with Elementor, I think. So
I think they might have did the default fonts. So, there's two ways to change the fonts. You edit with Elementor and you change it there. Or you can set Elementor just to choose the default font on your website, which would be in Customize. And they probably set it up as the default font because
to make it easier.
Yeah. I think. And then we can go to typography, perhaps. And then probably base typography. All right. So right now it's Quicksand, and we're gonna do that Reenie Beanie again, just because I like the name. And so this has changed up here, right here. And then some of these things have changed. The font size is not exactly big enough. So I'm going to say 18.
Right. So it looks like this is only affecting body and content because that's the part that we're editing.
Yeah.
Maybe we change the other stuff.
It's not doing the titles, which it would be down here. We can also do Reenie Beanie. And this should change right here.
Let's see. There you go.
Yeah. And then you can change the size in Elementor. But that looks pretty cool. I mean, that looks like it's a little too small. You can make it bigger in Elementor. But
that font looks cool. Like it would be great for like a lemonade stand.
Right. Oh, sorry. Or plants.
But yeah, plants too.
But we're not going to save that because that's terrible. I mean, it's okay. I don't know. I kind of like it. All right, so that's how you change the fonts. Edit footer. So I'm just getting everything out of the way before we start
Shop.
the shop. How do we edit this footer? So the header is like your head. It's at the top. Footer is like your feet at the bottom. How do we change this? This whole thing is the footer here. This thing plus this thing.
So usually you have the footer, which is that last part of the website, and then you have the footer bottom, which is the last part of the website.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is last. Yeah.
The footer bottom, usually edit that with the theme, I think. But the nice footer, which is the one we want to change now, is with Elementor. So if you hover over Elementor, you get a little extra option. It says site footer.
So just click on that.
Where we can edit the footer.
All right. So now we're editing that bottom part, not the bottom part, but the bottom part. And
not the bottom. The bottom, not the bottom.
Yeah. Just the bottom, not the bottom. So we click on that, and then let's delete this one, and let's add in our own logo that we made. This one, dude, cool.
Nice.
And then you can change all of these links, what they link to, and they made an icon list. So if you have privacy policy, shipping details, whatever, you just make a page, and then you get the link to that page, or you just start typing, and that page will come up right here. Sure. Yeah, and it's super easy. Add in all your social media stuff, and that's how you change this. Super easy. Let's update that.
And something that we can show them, I think we haven't covered that yet. If you go to the advanced settings for like your logo or any part of the site for the logo, you can add animations to it if you want to maybe make it bounce or make it like slide
like
in
here,
a little bit.
If we go to advanced, and then wait, what?
Entrance animation right there.
Sorry,
yeah, it's kind of small.
I thought it was a entrance animation. So like fade in. Okay, that's not very cool. Fade in left. Whoa. So you could do that with entire sections too. Yeah. So like we can exit out of there, then we can say, hey, you know
Make
what?
the whole footer
this whole thing fades in, or and it's slow. Fades in slow, or it zooms in. Boom. So the top pages of your website can have that too. Anything can have that. So
they can have different ones. You probably don't want to have like, a million things going on.
Right. People are there for the content, so you don't want to like, shoo, shoo, shoo. You could do some crazy ones, and it would be really bad.
But it's kind of nice to maybe have, little things that have a little bit of motion that, just look
nice. And depending on your website, if your website's like a spa or something, maybe things should just easily fade in, or, if it's, All right,
or so maybe you have a roller coaster website and things need to like jump out of everywhere.
Maybe you own Six Flags and you're watching this video. You never know. So we go there. And then we go to the homepage, and then now we can see at the bottom, the footer. That is there.
Very nice.
How do we change the bottom?
Yeah, that's part of the theme, so that's going to be in the customizer.
Customize. That would be layout, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Footer. And then footer bar, perhaps? Yes.
Right.
All right, so you have different options here. If you scroll down, we have this where we can stack it on top of each other. Or we can do it side by side. And do it side by side is good, I think. Yeah. This current year code just gets the current year. So that'll put in 2019. This site title will put in your site title, your website title. So essentially now natural. This credits thing, I don't think we need. So we're going to delete it. Bam.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that looked good. And then for section,
I think that also you can, it says custom text. Maybe there might be some other options. You can, a widget, you can add another menu in there. Or leave it blank.
Yeah. So to add another menu, you would go to the dashboard appearance menu.
And create a new menu.
Create a new menu, and then you can put in
a footer menu.
A footer menu. Yeah. For section 2, Again, you can do a bunch of things, but we're just going to have it there. This href, like what do we do here? How do we make this link to here?
Obviously I'm a web developer, so usually what I write there is a web design by icreateyoursite.com. So I would always have to type that out, and I would always forget like what that means. So I was like, okay, I have to stop like Google searching this.
Right.
So well, all that means is a hyper reference link that equals, like, what is your link going to be?
Whatever your website is.
Right. So just erase the number sign, paste where you want it to link to, and that's it. You're done.
There you go. So now, instead of linking to nowhere, it'll actually link to your website. Very cool. So we scroll down. All of that has changed. No more credits. You go here, it'll link to your website.
The homepage looks cool.
And on any of the pages, it will go back to your homepage. So yeah, that
Looking
is
good.
that.
So
Looking
far, so good.
We edited the footer. We're breezing through this. Now designing the store.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna set up the store. So just click on store. And what is happening with the store? What is going on?
Right. So this store looks really nice. It's really well organized. You have your featured products there, and you have, some extra products. But the way they made this was actually using Elementor. So they custom made this layout. And that can be kind of hard to work with. I actually like using the WooCommerce layout because it's actually made the same way that you're used to seeing it in almost any e-commerce shop online. So I think we should probably use that one.
Yeah, and it gives you a lot more settings. This looks nice, and if you want your website to look like that, that's awesome. But we want to show you how to do it in the way that most WooCommerce stores would be set up. So
right.
To do that, we have to delete all this content first. So just edit with Elementor. And it's pretty easy to delete all the content. Just click on this X right here. See, and these were all done with shortcodes. You click on it, and then it gives you the code. And these are featured. And when you add a product, you can set it to featured, and it would show up here.
Mm-hmm.
And these are just all the products here. So that's just the product. So we're going to exit out of all of that. Now that it's blank, we're going to update it. And then what do we do now that it's updated?
Yeah, let's hit preview just to make sure that it saved those changes. And then if it looks good from there, we can go back to the dashboard.
Yeah, so it's all empty. And then go back to the dashboard. And now we need to set up the store to be the WooCommerce store. So how do we do that?
Right, so we're going to go to WooCommerce and settings. And then here under, there should be a tab for products and store, I believe.
There it goes.
Yeah,
and then it says, where's your shop page? And our shop page is /store. So
and your shop page can be, something else. Like if you have, downloads or something like that, you can call it something else.
Right. And here you can change the, while we're here, we could change the weight units. Maybe we use pounds or and inches because we're crazy. And then press save changes. Okay, and now if we go and visit our store, what's going to happen?
We should see the default layout.
All right, so now we are seeing all of the store with all of the products there. And we can click on it and it works just perfectly. And this gives us a little bit more control of how it is laid out. And we can change things like the colors and buttons and everything like that. So let's try to do that. How we go about doing that?
Right. So most of the settings, if I'm not mistaken, are in the customizer.
Yeah. So we go to customize. And I think we showed you how to change the buttons before, right? But we'll just go over it again really quickly. And then we can go to here where the buttons are. But we can go to colors and background, I believe.
Right. And then for base colors, that'll change the colors for like the sales and the stars. But keep in mind that will also change the colors in your menu. Those are going to be your theme colors throughout. Right.
So if we go to link color, or theme color, we could change it. I'm just going to copy this because we're going to go back. And we can change that. And then that changes this sale right here with the link color. We can change this to. And that will change that color. So yeah, it changes all of the colors and everything. But I'm not going to save that. So just going to exit out of there and press OK. The next thing I do want to show how to change is this button. So maybe we want a square button and not a rounded button. So we can go to customize. And how do we do that?
That should be under buttons right there.
Buttons.
Theme buttons.
Button. And then how would we make it not rounded?
Right. So the button radius is referring to how much the edge of the button should curve. So right now it's 50%. If we make it 0, it'll be a perfect square.
Right. Okay. So that looks pretty cool. So we're just going to save that. And then we have our button colors and everything like that. So we can actually change that and you can customize it exactly how you want it. So that looks pretty cool.
Looks pretty nice.
Yeah. So we are going to publish that one. And then we're going to exit out of there. No, we're not going to exit out of there. The next thing we're going to do is change the sidebar. So yeah, let's exit out of there actually.
Yeah, I think for the sidebar, we have to go back to the store and edit the actual page of the store.
I think there might be, you can do it that way, but there's, I think, another way to do it also. So there's 2 ways to do it. I think we can actually go into the customizer because Astra has set that up. So here, why would we want a sidebar?
Right. So eventually over time, if you have, a bunch of different products, people might want to sort out through the price, or they might want to search for something specific, or maybe they want to get only the ones that have the best rating. So you want them to have those search tools on that sidebar.
So yeah, so to do that, there is a layout and sidebar. And then it's asking you, WooCommerce, do you want a sidebar or not?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, if we do a left sidebar, we can see, well, we can't see it here because it's there, I think. And we publish it, then we'll be able to see it, I believe, right?
I think so. Hope so.
And I think maybe there's no sidebar here because it's either if we
can want to try the page, see if doing it through the page settings maybe it comes up.
I think maybe because there is no sidebar, so it's not showing up. It's empty.
Yeah, maybe we need to create the sidebar.
Yeah. So
yeah, this is fine. The sidebar is set up, but there's no sidebar that exists. So the next step, we should probably create the sidebar first. So yeah, let's go create a sidebar then.
All right. So we'll go to our dashboard, and then we go into appearance,
widgets,
and widgets. There you go.
And let's see.
And then because this has no sidebar,
right, it's appeared.
It's not showing up. Yeah. So what kind of things can we add to our sidebar?
Well, we can add a product search. We can add the different categories. We can add organized by the product rating, organized by price. You can even add extra things like share buttons and a little paragraph, even an image. But usually for shops, you want the categories and things like that.
Right. Okay. So let's add a search first. So where is our search?
Should be under product search.
Search. Is there a product search?
Yeah,
there's
a
product search. Learn new things every day. Product search. Okay. And then after product search, I think we should maybe do a ratings. Product ratings, maybe. We could do a price too. Let's drag that in since I see it here.
You can reorganize them later.
Yeah.
And filter by rating is at the top. Filter by rating.
Oh.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
There's product by rating. There it is.
Products by ratings. And then categories. Let's add product categories. Is there anything else you think we need?
No, I think that's pretty good.
You think it should be arranged in a different way? We could do a title.
I think probably have categories or maybe a price People usually care about that.
Okay, on the top.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and then product ratings. Do we have 2 product ratings? Price categories. Okay, I think that's good. All
Yeah,
right. So it saves automatically, and hopefully if we go back to our store, it'll work. If not, then it's definitely the page settings.
Yep.
What the fudge? Okay. All right,
Yeah,
so to
it's
edit the
gotta-
page, you go to the dashboard, and then you go to pages, and we go to our store.
Yeah, so what happens is that sometimes there's theme settings and then there's page settings,
Ah.
and sometimes one, overrides the other, and sometimes the other one overrides, the other one. So in this case, I guess the back end settings are overriding the customizer
Yeah, so these settings have more
authority, I guess.
yeah, authority exactly than the other one. So this is set to no sidebar, but really we want it to be whatever the customizer settings are,
There you go.
because that's how it should have been set up, I think. So we're gonna update that, and now we're gonna view our page, and we'll actually see our sidebar.
Hopefully.
We'll definitely see it. All right, so but what is wrong with this page?
Right. So we can see there that the images of the products are kind of squished against the sidebar.
Right. So how would we change that?
So it probably has to do with how much the content has. We can probably fix that by going to the page settings.
So we'll go
And
back
see-
to the dashboard.
Yeah, and going to pages and seeing if we have any other options for how we can give those a little more space.
Store. And sometimes this just takes a little bit of playing around with, but if you were to guess, here's the content layout. What do you think it would be?
Well, usually stretched gives you the most space because it's supposed to stretch it all the way across. So the next one we could try is full with contained, and see if that makes it look a little better.
Update. All right, view our page.
There
And
you go.
yeah, now very good. Got that space going. And now that shop is looking really awesome.
All right, so we've already set up the shop and the sidebar. So let's
Yeah,
show
so
them how
let's-
to add a brand new product.
All right, so yeah, we got this and the sidebar, and now we're gonna add in a product. How do we add in a product?
Right, so we're going to go back to the dashboard one more time. And right under WooCommerce, we're going to see the products option.
Mm.
And we can click add new. Right there.
Add new. You can also edit any of these, but we're gonna add our own,
There you go.
and we'll just name this. Put in your title, and then we put in a. What should we do next?
Right, so there's 2 descriptions that WooCommerce lets you have. So
One
there's
right
a
here.
short description right there at the bottom, and then there's a long description. So the short description is the first one people see. So that's kind of like a basic overview of the item. So something short, like, hey, this is this product. It's made for this, and it's most people of this age range like it, or whatever you want to say about your product. And then the description, the long description, is like, this is how much it weighs. This some information about shipping, how to take care of your product, warranty information, all that extra stuff goes in the long description. Exactly.
All right, so we did that, and then the description. What else do we need to tell people?
Right. So we can set, if you scroll down, just like you did, we can set up a price for the product, like how much is it going to cost.
And this is in pounds.
Right,
We're gonna put in. Let's put in $50 here, and we can have a sales price if we want also. And then we can actually make a new category. So maybe we don't have a cactus or a plant. Maybe this is actually a succulent,
Succulent, right.
which I believe is a type of cactus, but who cares? So we add new category, and it adds it right there.
Right. And you can have your product be in more than one category if it matches, more than one thing.
Right. So just click on it, and then when someone clicks on a category, they'll see it in 2 different places.
Exactly.
Could you explain to someone what virtual or downloadable is?
Right. So you can set up a simple product is, an actual product that people are buying and you send it to them. A virtual product is something like an online meeting, maybe it's a stream, maybe it's a phone call, any kind of service that is not tangible. And then a downloadable product is anything that they can download from your website. Could be a picture, could be a PDF, could be an ebook, or maybe a music file or a movie file. Those are what those two things mean.
Right. Yeah. So if you're not shipping them something physical, you'd be using, virtual for something that's not tangible, and downloadable for a PDF, whatever. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So what else do we need to do? We need to add images. You've probably taken images, or maybe you haven't yet, but or maybe the manufacturer has images already, but where can we get some images?
Right. So there's two kinds of images that you can add to any product. There's the product image, and then there's a product image gallery. So the product image is the first picture that people see right on the shop. And it's when they open the product, that's the main image that they will see. And then the product gallery can be like different sides, different angles, things like that.
All right. So let's go get some images. Let's go to pexels.com and maybe search for some succulents. And I don't know how to spell, so that's a problem all the time that I have to deal with.
And Tyler, do we have permission to use these pictures, or are these copyrighted?
Right, so these are all copyright free. So this is pexels.com, Pexels. Another good one is unsplash.com. But these are all copyright free. We can use them however we want. So we could just find an image that we like, which always takes a lot of time. So I'm just going to say, that one's not even. I'll just say this one.
That one looks pretty cool.
Yeah. And then download. What size do we want to download it?
Right. So, you want the image to look clear, but you don't want it to be so large that, it slows down your website, loading speed. Mm-hmm. So I think medium is probably okay.
I think medium also. All right, and then we'll download this as the main image. We'll say that one's the main, and then let's get a couple of other ones, and I'm not going to be very good about this, but I'm just going to say download. We'll call this the second one. I know this doesn't make any sense, but third. And maybe one more, you think, or you think that's good?
Yeah, I think one more is probably going to look good.
Okay, we'll do. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time doing a demo image. Fourth. Okay.
Okay, looks good.
All right, so we downloaded that, and then now we can set our product image. So we click set, and then we're going to be uploading files. So select files. This is our main one. We're going to press open. We're going to set the product image to that. And then we're going to add some things. So we're going to upload, add things. So we'll add 2 to 4. I just held shift. Yeah, go on.
And you can add as many as you want. We're adding 4, but you can have just 1, or maybe you can have 10, depending on the product that you're selling.
Yeah, you don't need you just need one main image. You don't even need a main image if you don't want. So add image, and then we're going to publish that. Is that everything that we need to do? I believe so.
Let's see. We have our category. We have our description. Looks like, I think we're all set.
There's so many different options. It would be, impossible to go through all of them.
Right.
But these are all the main ones. All right. Now we can view our product, and we see that looks pretty good. And then we can see our gallery, and that looks awesome. We could add it to cart, and someone could actually pay us for that, and I think that's pretty awesome. If we go to our store, we are not going to see it because we added only 12 products to this page, and now it has 13, so that'd be on the next page.
There it is.
Is that it?
Oh, no, that is not it. So that could probably be if
no, it did add. It is right here. It just it blended in so well. Wait, no, that's not it. There it is.
There it is.
We added the same ones.
So what you can do, you can sort it by the store by most recent if you're not sure if your product was added correctly. So there was a sort by, put newest, latest. There you go, and then you can always check to make sure that your product got added in there.
There it is. And then now we have a new product category, succulent. So if we just click on that, we're only going to see the succulents that were tagged succulent. All right, so there's a way also to make this a feature product, like if you wanted to be displayed on your homepage as a feature product. How do we do that?
Right, so we're going to go back to our dashboard and see all our products again. And if I'm not mistaken, you can hit quick edit on any product, and there should be a little checkbox to add it to featured.
So quick edit, you hover over it, quick edit, and then we can make this.
Scroll down a little bit.
Somewhere.
Featured.
So you click on it, and then that would make it a featured product, and that was set up on our homepage to display all of our featured products. And then you just click update. So that is how you do that, and that's how you add a product. To delete a product, you just click on any product here, and then move to trash, and then you can delete them just like that.
It's gone. Yes.
Yeah. So now that we added the category succulents to our website, we hover over here, then we see plants and cactus, but we don't see succulents. How do we change that? How do we add succulents?
We want to add that to our main menu, and we're going to do that in the same place we set up, the menu originally, which is in the dashboard under appearance and menus.
Dashboard, appearance, and menus. All right, but I'm not seeing it right here. What's up with that?
Right. So, there's some settings on this page that kind of control what you can see. So it's just showing you posts, custom links, categories, and WooCommerce categories. Let me see. WooCommerce endpoints. So if you scroll all the way up, there should be some screen options. There you go. And you want to show you product categories too. We're going to check that. There you go. And now we have product categories, and we can find succulents and add them into the menu and drag and drop them right under the other categories.
Right there. And then let's make it actually caps, succulents. All right, save menu.
Yeah, even if you have fast internet, just because of the way WordPress is, because you're managing an entire website, sometimes it takes a little bit longer for things to load, and that's fine.
Yeah, so now if we go over here, we have succulents, and it would take us just to our succulent page, which is really cool.
Nice. That's looking pretty good so far.
Yes, let's see where we are on our thing. So we added the products, we added the categories. Now we have to add shipping, because let's try to buy something from our store. So that should be easy. We all bought something online. So we're going to add this to cart. And now you can either view cart or go here. So I'm just going to view the cart. And, we already ran into a problem here. You see, why don't we want a sidebar right here?
Right. So think about it. Like, you have somebody in your store, they're about to give you money for what you're trying to sell. And now you have all these distractions on the side. Like, oh, wait, well, maybe I want to see another category. Maybe I want to check something else. And you don't want to do it. You want them to be able to go to their shop page and finish shopping. And then if they want to buy something later, they can buy something later.
Yeah, you want them to be focused on purchasing your product. So yeah, not being like, oh, what's this over here? Then their kid comes in and whatever, and they never purchase it. So how do we change this?
Right, so we're going to edit the page, and we probably want it to set up with the same setting that we had on the store, either full width or contained, one of those two.
So under content layout, contained or full width. So we'll just go with which one?
Let's try contained. I think that should look similar to what we have in the store.
Contained. And now we view our page.
Okay. Oh, we have to put no sidebar. We forgot that part.
Right.
No sidebar.
Contained and no sidebar. Customizer settings. No sidebar settings. And I mean, we could probably put in customizer settings then if we have no sidebar.
Let's see.
We'll see.
Trial and error.
It's all about chip triangle. Okay, good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then you can hide this coupon in the WooCommerce settings or have one and give people discounts or
Right.
have affiliates or whatever. And then proceed to checkout. We have this problem again, so we're going to edit page.
And get rid of the sidebar O again.
And we're going to say sidebar, no sidebar. Update that.
All right, let's view the page.
View our page. Okay, so now everything works perfectly and we're trying to buy this, but what's our problem?
Yeah, it says there's two problems. We don't have anything set up to ship it, whether we want to do free shipping or paid shipping or any kind of shipping we want to do. There's no shipping set up and there's no payment processing set up either. So we have no way of taking payments yet.
So let's tackle the shipping first. How do we go about that?
Right. So WooCommerce has built-in settings to help you set up your shipping. So we're going to go back to the dashboard. We're going to go to WooCommerce and settings. And there we have our shipping settings. So the different zones are like different areas that you want to ship to. We're in the United States, so we can probably add a shipping zone for the United States.
Shipping zone. And we should name this what?
United States, I guess.
Yeah, United States. This is our, for shipping to United States. And then regions within the zone. You can just start putting in United States. So this is just our name for it. And this is everything that it serves, so it serves the United States. If we're going to ship to Canada, it's probably going to be more expensive. So we need to set up a new zone, call it Canada, and then say, this is going to cost a little bit more because it's a little further away.
Right.
And then what do we do?
Well, we can add a shipping method for the United States. And then there's a flat rate. And I think there's also free shipping if you want to offer that. Or if you're like a local business, you can even have local pickup. I think flat rate will be fine for us. So add shipping method. And if you scroll over flat rate, you can see a little edit button. It's a little bit hidden. And you click
That's
right
pretty
there.
weird. Like, why is it so hidden?
All right. You can choose whether or not you want to tax the shipping. And then you can set up a price for the shipping.
I'll say non-taxable. Let's say it costs $7. You can also do like some weird things here. You'd have to look up the WooCommerce documentation, but just search that online. But you can like say, okay, if they order 3 quantities, it's 7 times quantity, QTY, something like that.
Yeah. So the reason you have those options, and you can Google search all of that on the WooCommerce website, is
here it is.
There's some options there too.
Yeah. So just hover over
the reason is because sometimes everything you want does fit in one box and flat rate works fine, but maybe you're shipping a bigger item that each one has to be shipped separately. So you want to have, obviously if there's more quantity, maybe you increase the shipping price.
There really is just endless things to do regarding your shop. You can almost customize. You can customize anything. All right, so now we've got the shipping done. Let's mark that off. What was the other reason why we can't accept a payment?
Right. We have no way of processing payments on the website. So right next to shipping, we see there's a payments option. We can work on that. Make sure to save.
Probably cancel it. Oh, save. It is saved. Weird.
All
right. Whatever.
Okay. And there's a couple of different options. You can set up your bank. You can take a check if it's something local. You can even accept cash if it's local. And there's PayPal, which is what I like to use most of the time.
All right. So we'll just enable that.
Yep. And then we can set up PayPal. And PayPal is probably the easiest one to set up. They just need your email.
All right. So it's PayPal standard. And then, all right, it already has my email in there. So that's good. All right. So it all looks good. We save changes. Now let's go and try to buy something. Let's go back to our cart. View our cart. It's still in there. We have it here. It added our shipping to us.
Cool.
We can proceed to checkout. Fill out all of the info and then proceed to PayPal. Now, why is it... Okay.
You have to fill it out. Yeah. So yeah, right after this, we're probably going to show you how to change the currency to US dollar or whatever the currency is of your location. And you might also be wondering what happens if your customer on your website doesn't have a PayPal account. So we're going to be showing you that, how to fix that too, in case they don't have PayPal. And then Tyler's almost done filling out here his information, so we can see what happens when you click proceed to PayPal.
Yeah, you can add a note right here and press proceed to PayPal. And I wasn't paying attention, but did you tell them why you can't take payment on the website?
Right, because we're using PayPal, so it's jumping over to PayPal.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, it jumps to PayPal, and we don't have to. You don't have to sign up. You can pay with debit or credit card.
Right, but some people might not like that. They might want to keep everything in one.
Then I'll take
right on their website.
Yeah, and I think it does. It's not. It works. It definitely works. So they can just do it right here. But I think it's not as, and people trust PayPal, so that's a good thing also. But it's not as professional as having the credit card, entering in it on your website. And did you explain them why we can't do that?
Right, because PayPal is a third-party service, so it kind of has to take you out into their system to process the payment, and then at the end bring you back to your website. So it's not as seamless. Right,
but yeah, the issue why we can't take a credit card on our website is because we have this not secure.
Oh,
yes, because the credit card companies, if someone's entering it in, hackers would be able to intercept that, while it's going to PayPal. They'll be able to intercept it if it's on your website and it's not secure. Right. So we need an SSL to encrypt that information so that we can actually accept credit cards on our own website.
Right. So yeah, whenever you're on a website and you're trying to buy something and it's not secure, especially like if you're on a public Wi-Fi network like Starbucks, when you submit your credit card details, that gets sent from your computer over the Wi-Fi network to Starbucks Wi-Fi and then to the credit card processing company. But in between that process, if there's somebody else at Starbucks who knows how to, log in and hack into that kind of stuff, if your website is not encrypted, they can see your credit card numbers, in plain text. And that's the kind of thing that encryption avoids. It encrypts those numbers so they can't read them like normal numbers.
Right. So all these payment processors like Stripe and PayPal, they don't allow people to put in credit card numbers if you don't have security on your website. So we need that SSL security. But I do want to change one thing. Let's change this so that it's US dollars and not that. So how do we do that? And then we'll tackle the SSL.
Right. So we're going to go back to our dashboard and back to WooCommerce and back to settings. Okay. And then let's see for I think under maybe general or payments.
Yeah, general. It's in pounds. So we want it to be US dollars. United States dollars. Okay, cool. And then save changes.
And you can put whatever currency your country's from if you have a different one, of course.
Yes, don't put United States from somewhere else. So let's look at this. Oops. Make sure it really is in United States dollars. There it is. So we have it right there. United States dollars. Cool.
All right. So for the good thing with HostGator is if you do use HostGator and Tyler's promo code and all that, they are actually starting to provide an SSL for free with your hosting because Google has made such a big requirement for websites to have SSL, where that if your website doesn't have an SSL and it's not secure, Google's less likely to recommend it because obviously Google doesn't want to be recommending websites that might not be safe.
Right.
Yeah. So
how do we add an SSL to our? And if your hosting is not doing SSL, then for free, they really should be. So write them a mean letter or something. I don't know. They should be doing it now in 2019. So
yeah, exactly.
Or 2020 or whenever.
Yeah. If your hosting doesn't have one, you can always buy it. But why would you buy it when you can get it for free from something like HostGator?
Right. So how do we add an SSL to our website?
Okay, so we're going to go back to the dashboard and we're going to be using a plugin because, like we said, HostGator already gave us an SSL. It just didn't activate automatically. So we're going to go to our plugins. And there is a plugin that will automatically set up our SSL and configure everything. And it's called Simple SSL, if I'm not mistaken, or Easy.
So we add new, and then just type in SSL probably. And then really simple SSL. There it is. And so we're going to install now.
Yeah, and it has over 1 million installations and over 1,000 5-star reviews, so you know it's really good.
Right. And we're going to get rid of this not secure thing right here. So we're going to activate it. And Chrome started putting this, Google Chrome started putting this there so that people would be encouraged to put security on. All right, so now that we've installed SSL, it didn't change anything. What do we do?
Right, so we have to activate the SSL, and I think if you go right into the settings for really simple SSL, it should be like a really big button that says activate.
Settings. There it is. So it says SSL is not enabled yet, but we do have an SSL security certificate was detected on your site. If this was not detected on our site, then we need to write our hosting company a stern letter and saying, hey, give this to me for free or somehow get an SSL.
Right.
So get an SSL. If this is there, that's good. Go ahead and activate. What's going to happen when we click on activate?
Well, it should change.
It's probably going to log us out.
It might log you out, and that's because you're technically on a different URL now because you're not on HTTP, you're on HTTPS. You might have to log in again.
So if we visit our site and we go to, let's say we go to a different page, the My Account page, we're going to see this lock, and we're not going to see the navigation bar because it locked us, the admin bar because it locked us out. If we have the look over here, it says your connection is not fully secure. So let's log back in, WPS admin, and let's fix that.
Right. So the reason we installed the SSL, but it's still showing us not fully secure, is because a lot of the files that we used when we were making the website, so the images and the text and Elementor and the plugins, those are all unsecured files. Only now that we activate the SSL, so we need to update all of those files to make sure they're also secure. And Elementor has a really easy way of doing that. You just go to Elementor, and you go to Settings, if I'm not mistaken. And you go to, it's Tools, Elementor Tools. There you go. And you go to Replace URLs. And we want to switch any file or document that has an HTTP URL to one that has an HTTPS URL. So where it says new URL, we're going to paste in the the URL how it is now, and then
with the HTTPS, right. And then the old one we're going to paste it in without the S.
Right.
So the old one doesn't have the S. The new one has the S. Replace URL. Okay. Save changes. Just for fun, I like to go to General and then regenerate the files. And might as well resync the library because it's fun clicking buttons. Not because it does anything. And then press Save Changes. And we can view, and that was the maintenance mode that I was talking about.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know if it actually, I don't know what it does, but visit site and refresh. And now we have that lock symbol, and we should have it on every page. So sometimes it does, let's see, I don't think I could get it to mess up. Sometimes it does mess up every once in a while, and all you have to do is click on Edit with Elementor, and then make one change, put a space somewhere, then delete it, and press Update, and then I'll show you that lock symbol.
Right.
So now we have that great lock symbol, and I don't know if we ever told them about the form, did we?
I don't think so. We should.
I don't think so. Okay. So Should we do that now? It's
Yeah.
a little out of order.
Yeah, we're already here. So you might have a contact page with a contact form. It's already set up for you. The only thing you might want to double check is we just want to double check that it's going to your email. So
Right.
you can just double check that real quick.
So we go into the dashboard. The contact form is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Contact. When people fill it out, it'll email you.
Right.
Basically, is what happens. We have this contact form. We can edit it. There's a whole bunch of different settings. You can add fields, delete fields, but we want to go to the mail settings, and yeah, it goes to website demos. We want it to go to our email.
Right. And you want it to be from WordPress at your website.
From WordPress at.
Right. So that's really important, because if that was wrong and somebody filled out your form, you would never get the email. So you'd never.
So glad we remembered that. I don't know why I forgot that. So I'll put up here. All right, we added the payment gateway. Oops. We got the SSL and sort of one above. Saw how to do the contact form. Now that we have our SSL, now we're be able to accept payments right on our website. So they could put in their credit card right on our website. But we're not using PayPal because PayPal makes it really hard to do that. And you have to pay $30 a month or something.
Right. You have to be a business account, I believe, to do that.
And then Stripe is free, and I like free. Free is the best. So we're going to set up Stripe to accept payments. That is a payment processor. So the first thing that we need to do to set up Stripe is insert the plugin. So how do we do that?
So we're going to go back to plugins, and there's a plugin that will integrate your Stripe account that we're going to create in a moment now with WooCommerce. So just
add new.
Right. And search for WooCommerce Stripe. We'll probably pull that up. There it is, WooCommerce Stripe Payment Gateway.
So we install that now, and then we activate it. Now, where is it?
Right, so it got moved to the WooCommerce settings.
So WooCommerce is in settings. And payments?
Payments should have a Stripe option now.
And now we have Stripe right here. Right. And we don't need to worry about these. I think these are for, well, Alipay and just different programs and maybe different countries.
Right. So if you have some kind of credit card or banking system that requires any of those other ones, you're obviously going to recognize them. We don't really know them, but you might want to set those up if your website might need those.
Right. So I'm just going to disable PayPal and then enable Stripe and then press setup. All right. And now it's asking us for this test publishable key. It's basically what Stripe needs in order to identify that this is your website and to identify, that you can accept payments from them. Mm-hmm. So to do this, then we need to have a Stripe account. So we just Google Stripe or just go to stripe.com and you need to set up an account. An account setup is really easy. You put in your email, password. I'm going to save you guys some time and pain and not do it in front of you. I mean, you guys know how to sign up for accounts, I think. So I'm just going to sign in and put in my email. And then sign into the account. Of course, it's going to text me. Oh, okay. Skip this step.
Yeah.
Skip that step. Okay. So now it wants, what do we do here?
Right. So the first thing you see on your website, you have, it's right there, get your API key. So you have a publishable key and a secret key, which you probably shouldn't share your secret key.
with the
viewers,
entire YouTube, probably.
but we're gonna show you guys.
Okay, so all you have to do is click to copy. So we're gonna first test the website. We want to test that the payment would work. So this is our test keys. So and then we're gonna paste it. And then we're gonna go to our secret keys. So I copied that and then paste that. And this payment request button here, what is it?
Right. So a lot of browsers, especially Google Chrome, have extra payment options through like Chrome Pay or Apple Pay or things like that. And those are cool, but they can be kind of glitchy and they're hard to set up. So sometimes it's better to just let people use their own credit card payments, and we can uncheck that.
Yeah, if we didn't uncheck this, there would be two payment buttons. It would say pay here and pay here, and that's really weird.
Kind of confusing also for people.
Yeah, so we're gonna uncheck that, and then we're gonna save changes. So this is just our test publishable. It's a test, so we're gonna visit the site, and we have something in the cart already. Let me show you adding another thing to the cart. So let's add two things to the cart. This one looks nice. Add to cart. All right, proceed to checkout. And then now we're able to accept the payment right on our website, which is exactly what we wanted. And it adds it all up for you and does everything great for you. So it's giving us a fake credit card number
to test with.
Yeah. So we copy it. Expiration date. And CVC. I think you could just make it up. And then it says save payment information. So the user could save information to make checkout in the future really easy. But now we place order. And hopefully our order will work. All right, so now our order
and receipt is right there.
Yeah, order and receipt is right there. Your receipt, their receipt, something will notify you as the owner of the website that an order came through, and then something will notify them that this is your receipt. So it does all of that automatically for you. So that's really cool.
So they'll get the same way they get this receipt, they'll also get an email, and you will also get an email with the confirmation.
Right, exactly. So, but what if we want like a way to manage all of our orders? Like, how do we like keep it all organized? How do we do that?
So if somebody buys something from you and you have to ship it to them, you obviously need to know, all this information and to be able to ship it to them. So there is, if you go back to the dashboard, you're going to see where WooCommerce keeps all your orders so that you can fulfill them. So right under WooCommerce, you're going to see an option that says orders, and you can even have a notification for it right there.
Yeah, so it says orders, and then we have a new order. And that's crazy. It's crazy cool. We actually have two new orders because of that one PayPal one, and then this new Stripe one.
Right.
So we can, how do we manage it?
Right. So where it says status, you see one says pending payment and one says processing. So pending payment means they almost got to the checkout, but they never paid for it yet. So that person might not have gone all the way through.
Right. And PayPal, that's what we did. We opened it up,
and
then, but we never actually paid
for it.
Yeah. This, we actually did pay, even though it was a test credit card.
Right. So if you click the little eyeball icon, you'll be able to view the transaction, and then you have their billing address, their shipping address if you need to ship it to them, their contact information, and in case you need to contact them for anything, maybe they, I don't know, put something wrong, and you have their phone number and email, you can contact them. Mm-hmm. So once that is all done and everything looks good and you were able to ship
whatever you want.
Right. And you can click completed, and that's it. The customer got their product and you shipped it to them. And
right. So just
you
mark
can
it
move
as
on to
complete.
the next orders.
Yeah. So you mark that as complete, and then that's probably as soon as you have shipped it or whatever.
Right.
And then let's say, all right, we're done with that. We got Stripe our account. We manage the orders. Reports. Do we want some sort of way to visualize how we're doing? Do we get 3 sales this week and 20 sales the week after, or, like how do we do that?
Right. So you can actually get reports for the sales you've done right under WooCommerce, but reports instead.
WooCommerce reports, and then now we see, wow, we've done really well today. We
Right.
went from
So
0 to
it's
hero.
yeah. The
in a
first
long
day
time.
that if you open your store and on the first day without any kind of advertising or marketing, you got a $100 sale.
You're
You're
doing
off to a
good.
good start. You're doing good.
You're doing good. Even if it's your mom, you're doing good.
Yeah, you're doing good. And I just want to show them under right above reports. There's also coupons. So I just want to show them something really cool in coupons. So coupons, you can create your first coupon, and then, for example, you can put in like the coupon code you want to use, and then you can put in so a coupon code can be a
Save code.
Save code, right? And then description could be save 10%, right? And
74%.
Right. And then coupon amount, you just put, 74% off and you hit publish. And now if, you want to give that code to your friend, they can use it and they'll get 74% off when they shop on your website.
So you go to the site, and now it went back down to 0 because we actually purchased it.
Right.
So we go to store, and then we add the ball cactus, which is not very good product, apparently. we add to cart, and then view our cart, and then a coupon. Let's put in save code, and then apply, and bam,
There it is. $7.
$7. So that's really awesome.
Yeah. And really easy to do.
And super easy to do. So we did reports, coupons. We keep on adding to this. We'll just keep on going forever.
There's so many things that you can do on your website.
Yeah. The last thing that I want to show them is how to put in their live keys.
Right.
So we've tested the website. It works. It can accept credit cards. So let's go into our WooCommerce settings, payments, and for the final thing, we're going to put in our live keys in Stripe. So manage. It says enable test mode. What do we do?
Yeah. You want to uncheck that. That's checked by default. You want to make sure that's unchecked.
Uncheck. Go to our Stripe. Stripe, I didn't mention that you have to put in your, a banking information and stuff like that in order to receive payments to your bank. I did that for you. I didn't want to put my banking information to the internet for personal reasons.
So they ask you for a lot of information. It's completely safe. They just need to have that information to obviously deposit money into your account.
Takes about 5 minutes, right? About 5 minutes to
but they will ask you, for your address, phone number, contact details, and banking information.
Right. So I'm just going to click get your live keys, and then copy. Just click to copy, and then publish the live keys, and then click to copy and put in the secret key. And once you do that, we'll save changes. We can exit out of the Stripe, visit our site, and now we won't see that that test anymore. So now this is a real live site. You can pay, and then it says enter in your credit card number, just like that. And bam, you have a complete e-commerce online store website. What is the last thing that we need to do?
Right. So your website is done. You just want to maybe double check how it looks like to users, so you can log out of your website and see it the same way that a normal user would see it.
So just hover over here, log out, and go to our website, and this is how the user will see it. And you have a complete online website, e-commerce store, step by step, with no step skipped. We are all done and finished. Thank you for spending time with us. I'm Tyler Moore, and
Emmanuel. And if you guys do make a really cool website, feel free to leave a link to it in the comments and we'll check it out.
Right. And where can we find you if people want to get in contact with you?
Right. So if you need any help or have any questions about anything else that you want to add to your website, or maybe something wasn't too clear, you can go to my website. It's icreateyoursite.com, and I have a contact form there that you can fill out, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
And I'll put it in the description below. And please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. I'm Tyler Moore. Thank you so much.